And we are coming down in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to Getting Sports with Drunk. I'm your hostess, Cupcake the Riddler, and I'm joined by
Mark.
Sheen Washable.
Nope.
Milwaukee.
And the Red Baron.
Meow.
Well, it's Football Sunday.
Football Sunday.
It's the start of another long 17 weeks.
Yeah.
Sad.
Get excited.
Nah. It's just a holding period for me. Just a holding period for me. Yeah. But it's football season. 1 o'clock. The start of the regular season. Because the Thursday game sucked.
It was terrible.
It was a bad game.
It was horrible.
Everyone sucked. They ran the Philly special again. Could have told you that was going to happen.
Yeah.
I liked the game.
Why?
I thought it was competitive. Low scoring. Every game doesn't have to be 40-40.
Well,
No,
but
it
it was just an ugly game.
Well,
it
the
was-
Eagles have had a very sloppy preseason. And
They
carried
had a very
over.
sloppy game. The whole game was gross.
I liked it.
Matt Ryan was terrible. Nick Foles was terrible. The running games were not good on either side. Like it's not like either team was like a defensive giant that just stopped everything. Like Matt Ryan missed a lot of throws.
The play calling in Atlanta was horrible.
The whole game, the game was just bad. Like I mean, I can watch a 12 to 15 game where it's all defense stuffing the run, good tackles, you know, batted balls, but it wasn't that. It was just ugh.
High school football.
Well,
was like-
the
it
defense
was-
definitely stepped up. Though, Matt Ryan did,
The defense stepped up like in the red zone, but they got walked all over the rest of the way down the field. Like it was the Falcons put together good drives, got to the red zone, and then the Eagles defense played well enough, and Matt Ryan played shitty enough that no touchdowns happened.
It was like Falcons were, hey, Julio Jones all the way down, red zone, nothing.
Yeah,
Who's that guy?
It was just like there's like these two teams that I expect everything from this season. It was like poking them with a stick, like do something.
Julio Jones had a good game.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just saying. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, J.J. had a good game too, Kyle.
Bingo.
Don't worry. I'm still going to whoop your ass today.
Probably. Well, starting lineups?
Yeah, Kyle, go ahead.
Oh, I got a Miller 64. That's all you guys need to know.
Courtesy.
Courtesy of Peter. Thank you, my friend.
Kyle will replace them.
And we'll talk about it.
I have a Hogarden Belgian wheat.
Also courtesy of the Peter Fridge.
Yep. We'll replace it. Courtesy of Kyle.
courtesy of Kyle.
That's fine. But you're getting Milwaukee's best, Peter. You're going to drink them.
From the Riddler collection, I have a 2017 Bourbon County. This is just the originals.
So that's the wrong year. You shouldn't have grabbed that one.
I thought they were all 2017.
Dick. I got the same thing. Except mine's blueberry and marzipan. It's the beer I had the first time we recorded here.
I recall.
Twas. Kyle, you got Toast of Excellence? Nope. All right. Mine's to the shittiest start for a hot young prospect for the White Sox. Michael Kopech came in, pitched really well, got rocked, gave up 7 runs. Now he's going to miss all of next season with Tommy John surgery. So he'll be suiting up for the black and white pinstripes for April 2020.
There we go.
So
Be ready.
what I thought was going to be a promising, additional 10 wins for next year. The quest for 62 wins stays alive.
For the 14th time in a row, David Wright's trying to come back.
With the Mets?
With the Mets, hopefully at the end of this month.
So the end of the season?
Again,
For what?
I don't know. I think this is really it. I think they want him on the field one more time to say goodbye. So Hopefully they could do
They're
that.
going to carry him out in an urn.
Probably.
He's going to get hit with one line drive down the third base line right in the chest. He's just going to turn into dust like Voldemort did in Harry Potter.
Oh, spoiler alert.
I haven't seen it yet.
I didn't say which one.
I mean,
The
I
first
didn't
one.
see
There's
it,
8 of them.
and I'm probably not going to.
All right, good commentary, Kyle.
Yeah, how about this? You can go, F off. All of you right now. Including you, Rebecca.
Who's your toast?
My toast is going to a guy sticking to his guns. Lev Bell. Didn't show up, sacrificing almost $1 million. That's
855,000.
That's insane. To just give it up. I don't know.
I can think of a lot of things I could do with
I
$855,000.
know.
All of them are legal too. I can think of more things that are illegal.
Souls?
Yeah.
You could just make it up. A lot of people wouldn't even know the difference. Just make up a guy. He plays for the Rangers. What did he do?
Okay, my toast of excellence goes out to Delano DeShields. Just for being himself.
You lead a horse to water.
That was just a dumpster fire. Somebody's drinking it.
It's okay. I apologize.
Mark, can I have the thing in you?
Yep. Kyle's going to want it too for that twist-off bottle, but...
I didn't know. I'm out of it. Get off my back.
Is it a twist off?
I think so.
assuming.
It is.
Using his shirt.
That
His
brand new
Getting
nice...
Sports with Drunk shirt.
Yeah, T-shirts are in. We'll be giving them out. It was nice to see that we bought most of them. Made sorting them pretty easy.
Well, it worked out.
Which I got to tell you. The
I mean,
shirts...
a lot of the ones I bought were for people.
Yeah.
Not just like for me. I only bought one shirt for me.
The shirts show up to my house. One big box, shirts in them. So I'm going through sorting them, and I know Kyle's on his way to my house. So he calls me. He goes, "You know what? Can you do my stuff first, so I could give it to my dad when he's here?" No problem. I had a system set up. Went out of the way to set up Kyle's stuff. He shows up. "Hey, all your stuff's right there." "Oh, I told my dad to leave." I said, "Why? You asked me to do this."
I didn't want to have to go back outside.
And then, again, have everything set up by colors and size so I can easily do this. Just starts moving things to sit. I'm like, "Kyle, stop doing what you're doing. You need to stand for the next few minutes."
That's Soulsy.
Classic Souls.
How'd your first baseball game go?
Ooh.
I heard there was a donut on one side of the scoreboard.
lot of strikeouts.
Yeah.
Sounds like a Kyle Souls team.
Want to come in, give him a little advice?
Defensively, our team played well. I mean, it was the first game for a lot of these kids in a little while, so, shaking off some in-game rust. But defensively, we played well. Pitching-wise, could have been better, but it wasn't terrible.
Actually, after the starter, it went pretty well.
Yeah. But, I mean, the other half of baseball is swinging that bat.
They did not.
They did not do that.
I got a feeling today might be worse.
But, I was happy with the game.
And fuck that other team.
All right.
What's the temperature? This is a dumb question. What's the temperature that, the aluminum bat really gets affected cold-wise?
Typically, this is where you're going to lose some of the pop in it.
They
So
lost some of the pop anyways.
So why don't you guys just buy a warmer, like a heated cabinet you can keep the bats in so they stay
Like
at
a
80?
humidor.
Yeah, so they stay at 80.
Just travel.
Bat humidor. I like it.
You don't have to do that. You just get like one bat bag and just like put it in the oven at 350 before you go to the game.
Nice preheat.
Yeah, and then right before you leave, take it out, put the bats in the bag so the bats won't get that hot because the bag is warm.
Like a pizza bag. Riddler got me a Domino's bag once. I have it in my room.
Can we borrow it?
I could rent it to you.
All right.
Well, thanks for listening. It's been a wonderful time. For the next 2 hours and 48 minutes, Rebecca is going to talk to you about WWE.
Ooh.
Yep.
We're going to get a little clip of a lawnmower running real quick.
She's allowed to talk about WWE as long as she finishes every sentence with "The Shield sucks."
Well, they do, and they're terrible.
They're terrible. But they were ranked the best faction of all time.
By who?
WWE.
Are you serious?
The system's flawed.
That I'm honestly upset.
Yeah. Because they're not. They're terrible.
They're awful.
And Seth Rollins broke his arm.
Good.
Did you really?
Rebecca, shut up. You didn't say the Shield sucks, so you can't talk about WWE. That was the rule.
They
Say the Shield sucks. Then
They-
turn her mic off.
I wasn't even on.
Good. Punch her in the face.
they really said the Shield was the best faction of all time.
Yeah, they did some ranking thing on WWE Instagram.
Oh my god.
Now she's gonna look it up. She's like,
Scouring the internet.
I say, I hope you're messing with us, because that's just terrible.
yep. Well, we gotta go now.
All right.
Does no one remember when Chavo Guerrero became the white guy and had a caddy?
Dude, that was the funniest thing ever. And Dolph Ziggler was his caddy.
What was his name? It was Kerwin,
Something like that.
Kerwin White or something.
Kerwin.
He used to come out. Dolph Ziggler was his caddy.
That's awesome.
You don't remember the Spirit Squad?
I remember them.
Yep.
I know.
Dolph Ziggler was also a
third.
part of that.
Third. Sorry, third. It was my bad. The actual third. There it is right there. Shield number 1.
Who's number 2?
4 Horsemen.
Okay, that's fine.
This is horrible. Nexus? Oh my god.
Nexus. The new Nexus.
We are officially calling out Vince.
Shouldn't murder him.
Oh my god.
It's awful.
Okay, anyway.
To
So
real sports.
since today
To non-choreographed.
is week 1,
sports.
I thought we'd talk about the games a little bit, all right?
So, hey, we also have a shot trivia to do, and the juice is in the.
Here's the deal. We've already looked at the private stack.
Oh,
I am not drinking it.
yes, he is.
Oh, there's no
You know
way.
Just
what?
a taste.
You do have to drink it because you
Kyle,
lost.
I'm telling you.
I'll drink it with you.
Look at it before you say that.
Listen, yeah,
Yeah.
Just give it a shake.
yeah.
No.
Oh boy,
Come on.
it's a smoothie.
It's a little bit different than last
Hey, you
week.
know
Nope.
what? I'll take the first sip and see how I
I
like
think it's
it.
gonna be good.
Shake it up, Kyle.
It's
Shake it up.
had a. It had a week to really kind of settle. Look at that. Look at it. It's all frothy now.
We should have brought olives.
Baraka, baraka, da, 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 da.
That's not the song.
It's something like that.
It's La Cucaracha. Oh. Baraka. Souls, what do we think?
It's sour.
Good.
You got a sour in here.
That's the chocolate and
Come on,
coconut.
just do it. You never drink any of the gross private stocks.
You should chug it.
Hold on.
Oh.
Wait for a minute. I gotta find a question.
So,
I
deal.
was gonna let him escape from
Here's the
this.
deal. He either drinks the private stock today, when it's needed to be drank, not just the private stock shot, or next week he has to do a rocks glass of the Thanksgiving shot.
Ooh, how does that sound? I'll join you.
And it's a rocks glass. Think of all the garnishing I can do for a rocks glass.
I threw up on that, right?
No, Mock did.
I did.
Yeah.
Which one did I throw up on?
All of the other ones.
The mustard. The mustard.
Well,
Was it
mustard.
Frank's cheese?
Oh, yeah.
Jeff's favorite.
We should come up with a recipe book of our
I think
shots.
that beer is bad.
No,
No,
Kyle.
it's just not.
It's just
No,
not
no,
good.
it is bad.
It's not bad in the sense that you think it's bad, though. It's not, spoiled. It just was never good.
Not a flavorful.
22. You answered 22.
22, I like it.
I said we all guessed this before he asked the question.
That
Yeah,
was
nice
very
fun
funny.
range. 380.
I got 22. You got 380, Paul. Don't go in the middle. Just let it happen.
He's got to go in the middle somewhere. We're far enough apart that
379.
379.
Price is Right style. I like it.
All right.
Our answers are in.
Kyle will like this question.
Okay.
Now, I went on Google, and I'll be honest, I typed in odd sports facts.
Mm-hmm.
So, Kyle, in the 2011 Tim Tebow Miracle Broncos season, he had 7 wins in the regular season. How many of them were come from behind wins?
7.
4.
5.
The answer is 6.
Wow.
I was close again.
You know what one of them was, Kyle?
Steelers.
The Steeler game? Okay. Hope Jalen Ramsey picks you off 34 times today.
Jalen Ramsey's career is going to be over after this season.
Not true.
It might, though. Here we go. Mm-mm-mm.
Is it sour? Is it sour? It's pretty sour.
I bet you bringing that plastic container doesn't help at all.
It's also a smoothie. Because there's some chunks in that thing.
Oh,
Yum.
man. Poison.
Yeah, it's a good band.
Girl is poison.
I knew he was going to sing it. I knew it. Set him up.
So Kendall is the loser.
Yep. I just
So-
finished that all this week, so I get a new private stock.
Oh my god. That is terrible. But all right, Kyle, what's the first game on the agenda?
All right. So the first game is the Buffalo Bills at the Baltimore Ravens.
So dumpster game.
I wanted to do something first.
Oh,
What do you got?
I wanted to do bold prediction. I want to do like a bold thing for every team this season.
Okay.
And the reason I wanted to do it first is because some of it has to do with week 1.
Okay.
So, no, I don't necessarily bold, but this is just like my. Okay, here we go. All right, so we're gonna go down the list. So start off with a team. Just give me a division. We'll go through it.
AFC East.
AFC East. Okay. The New England Patriots. My bold prediction for the New England Patriots is they do not play in the AFC Championship game this year.
I was along the same lines. I was going to say they lose. You know, they're going to have the bye, but they're going to lose that divisional game.
No, I like it. Bold predictions for the Buffalo Bills. LaShawn McCoy finishes first overall in all-purpose yard or in offensive yards and second overall in rushing.
I could dig that.
New York Jets. What's his face there?
Nice guy.
Rosen. Which one do they have?
The Jets, they have Sam Darnold.
All right, I'll take the shot out. I can't remember. It's too hard to keep track. I'm not doing it right this second.
No. I'm just gonna give it.
Um,
I don't want to look at it.
Wins Rookie of the Year.
Okay.
Oh,
That's,
bold.
then it'll suck next year.
He's the only one He's the only one that's going to have the whole season's worth of reps.
Well, not as a rookie. Maybe for the quarterbacks. But I mean,
That's what you're talking about.
yeah, but there's more.
Yeah, but he has to do a lot less to look more impressive than like Calvin Ridley would have to do, or Saquon Barkley.
By the way, he did nothing in that game. Sorry, I had to bring that out there.
Here's the deal: if the Giants win 14 games and Saquon Barkley has 800 rushing yards, and Darnold takes the Jets to 7 wins and has 3,000 passing yards, he did a lot more for that team than Saquon Barkley did for the
That's a
Giants.
huge year. Only 7 wins. God. Damn Jets.
Poor defense.
And then bold
God
prediction
damn
for the Miami
Jets.
Dolphins. The Miami Dolphins finish above 500 on the season.
All right.
Isn't that terrible that that's the bold prediction for them?
Wait till Brock Osweiler gets out there.
All right, new division. We can talk about these two if you guys don't agree with them, if you hate them, whatever. That's fine.
I don't agree with Darnold.
It's fine.
Only because there's nothing there. There's no tools for him to succeed with
You
the
know
Jets right now.
what? Josh McCown did it.
But
He did it.
Kyle, but that you're talking about a guy that's played in the league for 400 years.
Yeah, and Sam Darnold is talented.
I'm not saying he isn't, but there's nothing there for him to. There's just no tools.
I think he's going to be one of those quarterbacks. I think he's going to be like an Alex Smith type of quarterback where he doesn't really matter what's around him. He's going to I'm not saying he's going to be an MVP,
Yeah.
but I think he's going to succeed. I think he's going to do a lot more for the Jets than people think.
Fair enough.
AFC West.
AFC West, okay, jumping just cross country. All right.
Fuck the North right now.
Okay. All right. Start with the Chargers. Chargers do play in the AFC Championship game.
Whoa. Bold. I want a button. Bold. Yeah.
Chiefs,
Suck.
Patrick Mahomes is sat by week 6.
Kyle's bold prediction. Chiefs suck.
I disagree with that one, but sorry.
That's fine. But they're bold, Kyle. They're
I know.
supposed to be bold. They're supposed to be in your face.
Hot takey.
Yeah.
Bold.
They're supposed to be like Eric's blood bubbling, like that type of thing. So what were we doing? Oh, Denver Broncos. Denver Broncos make the wild card.
Keenum, the savior.
Gross. Oakland Raiders win 4 games.
I can see that happening.
I think they win 7.
A lot of people are still high on them winning games because they think they're going to be able to shut them out, or not shut them out, but like go completely ballistic offensive wise. But
Derek Carr's got to bounce back for them to be good.
yeah, well, they also went from being the 27th worst defense to probably the 32nd worst defense now.
They could surprise people.
With what?
Dude, it doesn't matter, all right? They could just be good.
What do you... God, I hate when you make that argument.
No, because it's football, okay? They might have sucked last year, but it doesn't mean they're going to suck again this year.
But there's no defensive anything.
You're right. That doesn't mean they won't figure it out, though. I don't know. I'm just saying, football's a weird sport where teams that had terrible defense are good the next year.
You want to take a shot of this before you mix it?
I'm good.
Come on,
I already did my shot.
There's a nice layer on the top.
Did you give it a taste yet?
No, not yet. I got the stuff going. I will. I promise. I'll take my shot. All right. AFC South.
Yeah.
All right. Houston Texans dominate the New England Patriots week 1.
Yeah, I can get on board with that. I know Kendall's upset.
Not at all.
Patriots, rough offensive line, in my opinion. And they're missing their dink and dunk option for the first 4 games. I mean, I know Gronk's still a force to be reckoned with, but you don't know what you're getting out of the running game. We'll save it for the week 1 discussion. But
I think Houston's going to come out guns blazing right out of the gate.
now, when I say dominant, you got to keep in mind because it's New England, double-digit win, even if it's just 10. But that's still dominant against the Patriots to win by 10 points.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, Jacksonville Jaguars. Jacksonville does not have a top 5 defense when the season ends. I still think it'll be top 10, but I don't think it'll be top 5.
I could see it. Because they're going to be on the field a lot. A lot. Offense is terrible there. Colts?
Colts, yeah. The Indianapolis Colts do not finish with the worst record in the division this year.
I see it.
But they still only win 5 games.
Ooh, yikes.
I think they won.
Bold prediction for the Titans. They win 4 games.
Yikes. Does Mariota play all those games?
Yeah, but I don't think he's going to have a great year. And I think that teams coming into this are just going to stack the box inside and outside to try to stop Derrick Henry because I think they're just going to feed him the ball nonstop all season long. And then as long as they can cover the box properly, any play actions, they'll be able to shut down Mariota from scrambling. Because it got proven last year when Mariota can't run, that Titans offense does not work at all.
All right.
There we go.
South.
I think the Colts win
North.
10 games.
AFC North.
So, hold on. What?
I think the Colts win 10 games.
I would like to hear your reasons as to why.
They got locked back.
Okay.
He's going to win games for that team.
Okay, but he's going to win 10 games for them?
Yeah. Jacoby Brissett didn't really play all that terrible last year, and he had the winning factor to him. Like, he's the one that he'll go out there and he'll drive down in the fourth quarter with 2 minutes left and win the game.
So him and T.Y. Hilton are going to win 10 games?
So here's the thing, though. The Colts are going to give up a lot of points.
They still don't have a defense.
Their defense
or an
is
offensive
terrible.
line or a running game.
Offensive line improved.
But it's still bad. God, that's like saying you went from like.
And
I understand.
You know
I
what?
understand.
The defense last year for Indianapolis played pretty good for most of the season. If you really look at it,
They were a bottom 5 defense.
against the run, against the pass, they were good.
And isn't their best corner gone?
Lee Cooker, he'll be back by
No,
week 6.
who was their number 1?
Thinking of Vontae Davis?
Yeah.
Yeah, but he wasn't really relevant last year anyway.
He's old. He's old now.
Rashad Melvin's pretty good.
They're going to be giving up points.
I don't think they win 10 games.
I don't think so. I don't even think it's near there.
I agree. I think they will be improved. I mean,
I think they're going to be better, but you say
Who's
the
running
offensive
the ball?
line. Well, just think you see the offensive lines improve, but I mean, like, if I go out onto a basketball court and I take 100 shots and miss them all, and then I go out tomorrow and I take 100 shots and I make one, I improved, but I'm still terrible. You can improve and still be bad.
I just don't think
They're taking steps
as
in the
much.
right direction.
Well, I hope I'm rooting for the Colts. You know, I hope they do better. I don't care about Tennessee. And Jacksonville for the birds.
You know what? I think the Colts beat the Jaguars twice.
All right. Wow.
Crazy predictions.
I just don't see Jacksonville being as dominant. Colts can beat Houston, and the Colts can definitely beat Tennessee.
Well, anybody can beat Houston. All it takes is
So that's 6
week
games
3
right
when
there.
nobody's there
I think they
anymore.
win at least 4 of them.
All you have to do is get to week 3 and the Houston Texans
Once J.J. Watt's hurt, then
And they're playing a
they
weak
lose
schedule.
they
this
lose 17
year.
of their 22 starters.
They're playing like a last place schedule.
we don't know what luck's gonna be. I don't see 10 wins.
Plus, who finished last year in the AFC West? Was it Denver?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Well,
so Denver is much more improved than last year.
Yeah, but they also got worse from last year. Their defense isn't the same.
Their defense is still a good defense, though.
They could definitely be scored on.
They can be scored on, through the air, but
Because like Chris Harris was a slot receiver, now he's got to play the outside.
I understand that, but they still have one of the scariest front sevens in football.
I don't know. I think Angela could pick that secondary apart.
If he has enough time to throw the football.
I think he will.
So you think the offensive line is going to be able to block all those pass rushers?
Yeah, what about Von Miller? Bradley Chubb's not proven anything yet.
Okay, what about Derek Wolfe?
Okay, you got Quentin Nelson on Derek Wolfe. I think Quentin Nelson could be Rookie of the Year.
So you said Bradley Chubb hasn't proven anything yet, but Quentin Nelson's going to stop a top-tier pass rusher.
Okay, well,
But, I mean,
no, because offensive lines are way different than pass rushers.
but
You know what you're like. He's considered the best
Well,
prospect.
hold on. No.
So was Eric
I was
Fisher
just-
when he came out.
Flowers.
Him too, but Eric Fisher
Oh.
on the Chiefs.
Oh, no, Eric Flowers was supposed to be a top-tier offensive lineman,
can
and he's
flop
led
just like
everybody
anybody
through.
else.
I don't know.
Going up against being the best offensive lineman in college means nothing once an NFL lineman decides to start rushing you.
I just think that the Colts will be great this year.
All right, well, keep that in mind.
Also,
Keep that in
10
mind.
wins isn't great,
It's great for them for they were last year.
but that's not great. That's
Okay,
good.
but you know what I'm saying. Like
Wishful
it
thinking.
went from being a 5-win team to a 10-win team. Andrew Luck making that big of a difference for that team.
I don't think so. I think Andrew Luck is very talented, but you got 10 other guys on the offensive side, and there's nobody on the defensive side. He's not going to go out and put up 36 points a game. He just isn't going to do that.
We'll talk about it more when we talk about the Colts Bengals.
He might do it against the Bengals.
Riddler had some AFC North bold predictions.
Yeah, sure. I guess I'm just gonna get attacked for them again. So I got attacked this time about Andrew Luck winning MVP and going to the Super Bowl.
You can say that.
Yeah, the Cleveland Browns win 6 games this year. I think they can very easily surprise a lot of people. I think that they have the ability to beat everybody in their division once, just because the Steelers are the team to beat in that division, and the Steelers like to play down to the Browns. And I mean, they gave them a run for their money last year in the season opener. I think they could come out guns blazing, catch some people off guard. Not saying that they're going to turn heads and be a playoff contender, but they got a quarterback that takes care of the football. He's not going to throw up 350 yards through the air and 5 touchdowns, but he's not going to throw stupid picks. He's not going to give the Steelers just unnecessary more offensive chances. They're going to come in. The defense got a little bit better. The offense got a little bit better. I think they could, put some stuff together. It's not just when Josh Gordon's on the field, he's the only guy that you got to worry about. Now you got, a speedy possession receiver on the other side of it that can do things. A running back that is serviceable. I'm not saying he's going to go out and get 90 yards and a touchdown every week, but if he goes out and gets 65, 70 yards, you got to respect what he can do with the ball in his hands. So you got to play a little better on that. And, and the Steelers defense can be shaky from time to time, like a week 1 matchup type of thing. The Ravens defense can be shaky. And same thing with the Bengals defense. And all 3 of those offenses have shown that they have, they're good for 1 or 2 eggs a year. We've seen it from the Steelers, we've seen it from the Ravens, and we've seen it from the Bengals. They're good for one, just not so great offensive performance a year. If the Browns can pick and choose and do the right things at the right time, they could very easily walk out of that division with 2 wins.
I think the Browns win Week 1.
We'll save that for the Week 1 discussion.
Well, no, that's me. That's my prediction. Like a bold.
But they walk out of Pittsburgh with a win, or no, they send Pittsburgh home with a loss.
So you're saying they open up that Bud Light chest this week?
Week 1.
I
I also think they win 8 games. I think they finish 500.
Okay, that's fair. Cincinnati.
Get ready for that number 3 pick.
No, see, Cincinnati was hard for me because I don't really have any expectations for them, but I also I don't think they're not gonna. I think they're gonna win 4 or 5, at least 5 games. I mean,
Give us a prediction about Marvin Lewis.
He's still gonna be there next year.
That's not a bold prediction.
Sign him another 6 years.
He was all set to be fired, and he beat the Ravens.
He was going to retire.
All right, I'll give you a bold prediction. I got one for you. AJ Green leads the NFL in touchdowns this year. I can see it happening.
With how many? Roughly.
14.
All right.
I just look at the teams. Realistically, in my opinion, the only person that, on paper, team-wise, is going to give him a run for his money is Hopkins and Gronk. Just because you look at the 3 biggest other receivers in the league, in Jones, Beckham, and Brown, there's other touchdown options around them.
Yeah.
There's a big-bodied tight end in New York. There's another smaller, speedy receiver that's been proving himself, and a new running back. You go to the Steelers. They have Smith-Schuster. They have Ben likes to work with the tight end. They don't have to be a star tight end. They're going to get touchdown looks, and it doesn't. In my opinion, it doesn't really matter who's lining up in the backfield. The Steelers just have the ability to make anybody that lines up in the backfield a good running back. And then same thing, you go to Atlanta, granted that first game how it went, but they have Sanu, they have Ridley, and they have 2 good running backs. So there's just, for me, Eifert's never healthy. So if he stays healthy...
That could be your bold prediction. He plays a whole season.
I said bold, not insane.
You might already miss Week 1.
Yeah, so... But, okay.
Vito drafted him.
Baltimore Ravens... bold prediction is that Lamar Jackson's the starting quarterback by week 13.
Wow.
I agree, but sooner.
I don't think sooner, because I think what's going to happen is I think he's going to come in, and I think they're going to run packages with him, kind of like what they did with Tebow in Denver kind of thing to start that whole thing off, and what they plan to do with Tebow in New England. And they're going to run packages and stuff like that. And I think they're going to work, and fans are going to get behind it, and then Flacco's just going to have one really bad game. A really, really bad game. And, maybe by that point, the Ravens are kind of pretty much out of the playoff picture or whatever. And so they give Lamar Jackson the start.
See, I agree with everything you just said. But I think it happens sooner, except they'll still be in the playoff picture.
Okay. And then Pittsburgh Steelers. Bold prediction for the Pittsburgh Steelers. They beat New England in both the regular season and the playoffs.
Yay.
Then lose to the Chargers.
Fine. Be repeated 1996.
I think you beat him. I think you beat him in the divisional round, and you beat him in the regular season.
I hope so.
And then you lose to Green Bay in the Super Bowl.
Again.
Why?
And then I burn the studio
On
to
your
the ground.
dad's birthday.
Can we just not have a fumble? Because that made me sad.
Oh, it's going to be.
Was that Mendenhall?
Yeah, fuck him.
This time it's going to be Bell.
Now he's ready for ballers.
It's going to be Bell. One day after a
Balls.
contract extension.
He is.
All right.
That's something I'd like to talk about, too, at some point today.
Man, we'll get to it. We'll talk about a fucking moron later. All right, NFC, pick a division, Kendall.
South.
Okay. All right. Alrighty. Here we go. So this, I have a bold prediction for the division as a whole. Everyone had a lot of opinions going into it. My bold prediction: the New Orleans Saints are the only team in that division that make the playoffs. Here's the thing: for us, people who think we know a lot about football, we all agree with that type of thing. But you listen to a lot of like actual professional analysts and stuff like that, and the Panthers and the Falcons are still a team that need to be reckoned with because it is just week 1. But I think the Saints are the only ones that make the division.
I agree.
Bold prediction for the Saints is the Saints defense finishes the season with the highest turnover differential in the league. Do you have them?
Fantasy.
Oh, okay, let's change that.
Change it. Worst.
Eddie Lacy becomes a member of the Saints defense.
Starting
Linebacker.
safety.
No.
Oh my God, he'd get burned.
Oh,
He's still in the league.
He's not with a team.
he's just a free agent.
He's just. You ever seen the end of Dodgeball when Ben Stiller's really fat? That's him. He's watching the NFL. No, Saints defense leads the league in turnover differential. That's my prediction for them. My bold prediction for the Atlanta Falcons. It's going to be tough. So my bold prediction for them going into the season was going to be that they were going to be the number 1 defense against the pass. But, now
Keanu Neal's
but
gone.
now Keanu Neal's gone, and that makes a big difference. So, bold prediction for Atlanta would be that I don't even know.
Tevin Coleman overtakes the starter role.
That's yours?
Yeah.
Arthur Blank gives up Home Depot.
The ultimate heel turn.
Oh my God! What the hell? That's funny.
Complete reverse. It becomes the Atlanta Home Depots.
Oh,
Atlanta Home Depots.
They start sporting orange and gray jerseys,
And the logo's a wrench.
and they all have to wear hardware belts.
The Atlanta Pro Desk.
Gross. No, Atlanta Falcons. My bold prediction for the Atlanta Falcons is that the Atlanta Falcons only win 8 games this year.
Jeff's about to call you. I heard you.
Bold prediction for
Panthers.
Carolina Panthers. That they also only win 8 games this year. I don't think either of them are going to be that good. To be honest with you, I just don't. I think Cam's been on even if it's been minuscule, a decline, and since that Super Bowl year, I think that the Panthers they're kind of at their best when Cam Newton's running the football, and they went out and it looks like they're finally going to start doing what they should have been doing since he was drafted, which is actually feature a running back. Back when they had 2 really good ones, they were paying lots of money for.
too little, too late.
And didn't use at all. And now it looks like they're going to try to feed McCaffrey the ball 25 to 30 touches a game, whether it's through the air or on the ground. And I just feel like Cam Newton and the Panthers are at their best when he's running the football around. I don't know. I think McCaffrey is a good ball player. I just don't know if he's the right ball player for the Panthers.
Well, I have a bold prediction for that.
Okay.
I think McCaffrey will lead all NFL running backs in all-purpose yards.
Okay.
He's certainly going to get the opportunity.
I don't know if that's bold.
He's definitely going to get the opportunity.
Because, realistically, all he has to do is get 500 rushing yards and 500 receiving yards, and then he's going to he's just going to get the rest in punt and kick return yards.
Does McCaffrey return?
Yeah.
He's going to have the ball in his hands a lot.
The only person that's really going to give him a run for his money is Kamara. But I think once Ingram comes back, I don't think that Kamara's going to get as many of the touches. I think he's still going to get a lot of yards, but it's just, I was arguing with Kyle's cousin Chris about it yesterday. It's just, I don't care how much better Kamara is than Ingram. At the end of the day, it's the same type of deal as a McCaffrey, like a Tariq Cohen. If it's 3rd and 2 on the goal line and you need a touchdown,
you're going to Ingram.
Ingram's going up the middle. You're not going to, it's great if McCaffrey's got all the speed in the world, but if he's got to run it outside past the hash marks to get it in, that 2-yard run now becomes a 12-yard run, and you need a lot more time to get that ball across the end zone.
Yeah.
And it's just, it doesn't matter what direction football's going in, the shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line.
Kamara, to me, again, I think he's talented, but to me, he's like that prime guy that we saw one good season, and then he's going to fall off. It's just
Breeze.
he's still such an unknown to me. I'm not saying he's going to be bad. I don't think he's going to, but he's that prime, almost one in not done, but.
Well, a concern, if there's a concern, is he's not a big guy, and we've seen guys like was it Dre Archer? Do you remember him? He's
Trey.
No, not Trey. I think it was Dre Archer. Small guy. I couldn't remember his name.
He's a doctor,
but kind of a small build, and it's hard.
Big difference.
Oh, no, he is a doctor.
That warrants a shot.
Nah.
I still got to do mine.
That guy could not do anything.
What do I think? Think
It's
of Eddie
amazing
Lacy.
to me how much the chocolate comes through on the smell.
But think of Eddie Lacy. I mean, he had that one big year. Everyone's like, "Oh, here's this next dominant running back," and
he just got big.
I don't think he's had a positive attempt in 4 seasons.
You made that doctor joke.
Come on, that
Nope.
Dr. Dre is a doctor.
If Kyle made that joke, you would have said shot.
I wouldn't have said a thing.
You're a liar.
Yeah, take a shot because I owe one from before for
You
the
do
bold
everything in your
prediction
power
button.
to make me take a shot.
That's not true.
It's kind of true.
Kind of.
And then Tampa Bay. Bold prediction for Tampa Bay is that Tampa Bay actually finishes out the. I don't know how many wins they're going to have this season.
8-8.
You think they're going to go 8-8?
So there's gonna be 3 8-8 teams in that division.
Yeah, and I think
My
Ryan
bold
Fitzpatrick-
prediction though
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
It was my segment, but go ahead. Feel free.
I just think Ryan Fitzpatrick stays as a starter this year.
You think he's due for a big year?
Yeah, I think it's this year.
So what do they do with Winston?
Let him ride the pony.
My bold prediction.
I don't know if you could do that.
My bold prediction for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, though, is I don't know how many wins they're going to get in the season, but I think that they finish the season tied with New Orleans for best division record. I think both teams go 4-2 in the division.
So I want to ask a question to Kyle.
I think Tampa Bay beats. I think that the streak kind of thing ends for New Orleans. I think New Orleans beats Atlanta twice, and splits with Carolina, and splits with Tampa Bay, and I think Tampa Bay splits with New Orleans and Atlanta and takes both games against Carolina. It's my prediction. All right, moving on. New division.
West.
NFC West. Okay. The LA Rams make the playoffs as a 3 seed.
All right. I like that. Roughly how many wins you think?
I think they get 11 wins.
11 wins?
Yeah. 49ers. Garoppolo stays undefeated as a starter through week 1.
Who do they play week 1?
Vikings.
Ooh. All right. I was going to say, why is that so bold?
And they go to Minnesota, and Garoppolo stays undefeated as a starter through week 1. And honestly, if he does that, he might be undefeated for life when he re-signs with the Patriots in 4 years.
That's right.
Do you like Garoppolo?
I like Garoppolo.
All right.
I want to make sure when this is all done, I want to have to send a message to our fantasy player, Pat Donovan. He was on the show. I have a message to send to him, but we'll continue after.
Well, you already interrupted us. You might as well just do it now.
All right. Pat, if you're listening, Pat's fantastic team. I just want to let you know that Garoppolo's Pizza is serving up a slice of defeat to you today. That's right.
The real winner in this is the private stuff.
Oh, my.
He was saying
Wish
that
Jeff was here for it.
all night during the
Serving
draft.
up a slice.
He practiced that in the mirror this morning.
All
I say
night during the draft.
every show, I'm serving up a slice of defeat. We
Goes
should-
0-14 on the season.
I hope so.
So that's my 49ers one.
Seahawks.
Seahawks, okay.
Offensive line plays better.
No, Shaquem Griffin wins Defensive Rookie of the Year.
That'd be cool.
See the one with one hand?
Yeah. His brother also plays on the team, though.
I know,
His
that-
brother is Shaq Griffin.
Oh. All right.
I think he wins Defensive Rookie of the Year. I think he's being forced into a position on this defense as not a first-round type player, but he's kind of getting treated as a first-round defensive player. And I think he had a really good preseason. And I think he's going to do really well.
So, did anyone see the video? I saw it just this morning. Someone posted a video of them playing Madden, and they lost out on an interception because he only has one hand. Like, it went right over where his non-hand is.
Just grazed the nub.
Yeah.
And then what do we? Cardinals. Sam Bradford starts all 16 games,
If healthy, I agree.
and I think Sam Bradford. I'm not going to say that if healthy. I think Sam Bradford has a healthy year. I think he plays all 16 games, and I think that the Cardinals win 10 games with Sam Bradford on his side.
Well,
All right, North or East?
North.
North.
All right, so East it is. Only because you guys all agreed. All
Thanks, Kendall.
right, NFC East. NFC East.
Start with the Redskins.
Adrian Peterson rushes for over 1,000 yards this season.
Take that, Michael.
I disagree.
That's fine. I think you're right. I don't think it's by much. I don't even think he gets 1,100, but I think he breaks 1,000 yards this season.
He's back.
1,002 rushing yards.
1,000 even.
1,000. Nice. I like it.
1,000 even. You know how he gets it? Because he has 1,012, but he gets stuffed really bad behind the line. No. All right. Dallas Cowboys. Despite losing a lot of pieces, I think the Dallas Cowboys finish the season top 5 in sacks this season. I think they still have a very scary front seven, and I think they can still get to the quarterback very quickly and very efficiently. I still think they're going to get. I think they're going to get torched on defense because I think they're going to be consistent throughout the season. I think that they're going to rack up, maybe 4 or 5 sacks a game. I think that they have that ability to do it. But if you run, say you run 55 offensive plays, the 50 that they don't get to them
Right.
go for touchdowns. So I do think they get ripped up, but I think they finish top 5 in the league in sacks this season. I think they still have a scary front seven that can get the job done. New York Giants finish number 1 in the NFC this year.
Yeah.
They lose in the first round of the playoffs.
Second round, they get the bye.
Ha-ha! Shot.
That's right. Give it to me.
Send in the back.
I'll fart again.
Do it.
That's
And then who am I missing?
Eagles.
Oh, Eagles. Eagles.
Suck.
All right.
Why do I smell it?
Carson Wentz does not take a snap this season.
Well,
Ooh.
I could see it.
I have a prediction. Sorry. I'm just going to say that they're going to run the Philly special every game until it doesn't work. They seem like that's their plan. And it's going to get old next week.
Do the 49ers play the Eagles this year?
No.
Damn, what a good joke that would be for a slice of Philly special.
We'll work it in somehow. We'll figure it out.
You're going to have to draft Garoppolo every year until
Every
that
year.
happens. And then NFC North.
Lions.
Lions? Tigers? Oh, the Tigers, okay. All right, the LSU Tigers, the newest members of the NFC North. No.
It was a fucking joke. Get used to it.
Now that he got hit for a joke, you're going to get it every time you make a joke.
You're done.
NFC North.
You're getting benched.
Not once, not twice, not even thrice, but 6 times this season, Matt Stafford has a 100-yard rusher.
Which one?
I think it'll be different. I don't think I do. I think
Well, it has to be the same twice.
Why?
because they have 5 running backs.
Well, I mean, what if someone all but one?
What if Matt Stafford rushes for 100 yards?
Oh my god. What a
And
day.
that defense had a rough day. Who was the last quarterback to do that?
Probably Vic or Young.
Wilson.
I was
Wilson.
gonna
Wilson
say,
or
it was
Newton?
Either Wilson. I think Cam did it too.
Yeah, Wilson or Newton probably.
Greg Olson.
Greg Olson.
Greg Olson Wilson.
100 yards rushing out of Greg Olson.
Hey, if all Stafford has to do is do it in a Madden style. I mean, every year in Madden, there's one quarterback that shouldn't be rushing for anything. Like it's like a 95-yard rushing touchdown. It's always against your team. That happens all the time. You know who mine usually is? You know who I always give it up to every single year? Every single year. they give it up to Kirk Cousins. Every single year. And before that, it was always Peyton Manning.
Ooh, that's a slow touchdown.
I'm convinced what happened is they just is like, you know what? They're on the 1 yard line. Engage 11. And then Tom Brady just ran that play. Peyton Manning ran that play he did when he was on the Broncos. And, Papa John's was with him. So 6 times, 100-yard rusher for the Lions.
Can we just say it's Blunt?
I think Blunt gets 3 of them.
Nice. Blunt. Go LeGarrette.
Because I think Blunt's going to be that featured back in the beginning. I think they're going to do a rotation of all of them, but I think LeGarrette Blunt's going to be that heavy favorite going into it, and especially because LeGarrette Blunt being stronger and stuff like that, he's one of those running backs that has the ability where you'll put him in like a 3rd and 2 or a 3rd and 1, but he picks up 10 or 15 yards on that run. Like he just powers through the line and gets brought down by a member of the second.
He's a power back. He should be.
He is. Yes. Just because you get run outside doesn't make you forget it.
Why is that a shot, Kyle?
You deserve one.
For what?
You're an asshole.
Green Bay.
Green Bay makes the playoffs as a wild card, not as a division winner.
All right.
Minnesota?
Minnesota.
Anthony Barr does it again.
No, it's the Lions' turn. It's the Lions' turn to break Rodgers' collarbone.
Then it's the Deshaun Kaiser show.
Who do you think is the most likely guy
On the Lions?
on the Lions to do it?
Ndamukong Suh when he suits back up for them just to do it. But he's going to do it because he's going to step on his collarbone.
Ooh, yikes.
Well, he stepped on, I forget who it was.
He stepped on his leg.
Not Rodgers' leg, though.
I thought it was.
No, he stepped,
No.
it was somebody else. He stepped.
It was on Thanksgiving because you got ejected from that game.
I think it was a bear. I think it was a bear that he did it to, wasn't it?
Or did he kick? He did something
He
to
kicked,
Rodgers.
he kicked Rodgers when he was down. He kicked him like in the back.
Yeah.
But he stepped on. I think it was a Chicago Bear. I can't remember who it was, but he stepped on him.
He stepped on his calf, right?
Yeah.
You're not getting away with stepping on somebody's collarbone. Right next to the head, like
sorry.
I misstepped.
Minnesota Vikings. I have 2 bold predictions for them.
I also have one.
Go ahead.
They missed the playoffs.
Okay, that's not the direction I was going, but that's his bold prediction. Mike Mock, write it down. My bold prediction: Minnesota does not finish with a top 5 defense this year, and Kirk Cousins throws for over 40 touchdowns and over 4,000 yards.
Oh, boy. What a year.
The problem is 25 of those are going to be interceptions, too. I said that wrong, but 25 interceptions.
Oh,
No,
wow.
25 pick sixes. I know what you meant.
Did you bet Schwab?
Trying to think.
Kyle, stop trying to do the fantasy math in your head.
It's a lot of points.
I can see.
Kyle, you can't do the fantasy math in your head because what happens? Like, you can't just sit here and do it. Like, what if he throws 200 one game and then 700 the next game? Like, those are different.
No bonuses. I can see Cousins coming out and just being flat.
I can too, but I think that he.
Yeah.
You heard that he trademarked his famous line?
I did not
What's
hear
that line?
Oh, it goes something like this. Ooh,
That's
wait!
not what he trademarked.
That's not what he trademarked.
He trademarked.
Okay, you
You like that?
like that? Well, then why did you set me up for that joke?
He
Shut.
I didn't fucking
Yeah,
set you up.
Mock
He
set
did.
you up for the joke.
I was just saying he
I was
trademarked.
pointing at Mark.
I just wanted to hear the sound. I didn't know what he trademarked.
He trademarked it.
So you know what? Because of that, Rebecca has to do a shot.
Yeah, yeah. It sucks to be.
Yeah,
Kendall
you have to do a
Brown.
shot. You can't be part of the show and then not do things that the show does.
You got to
Everyone
funnel it
throw
through
You gotta do
the
it.
T-Rex.
Coming in hot. 3, 2, 1. I'm throwing it at you. Catch.
Whoa.
Oh, imagine if it opened.
Oh, that'd be so funny. That's everybody, right? Except for the Bears. Everybody the Bears? Okay. Chicago Bears finished with the number 1 defense in the NFL this year.
I also have a prediction for them that I've already told you before.
Here's the deal. If he says it, I'm leaving.
Don't
So-
say it.
We've all heard it.
Don't
I'm leaving if
say
he
it.
says it.
Earmuffs, Paul.
Khalil Mack becomes the
I
quarterback.
can't because all the earmuffs in this room enhance what you're going to say.
No. Use your hands.
That doesn't work.
Bears win the division.
No, I couldn't hear it.
I like it.
All right. All right.
Good
So what do you
stuff.
guys want to do? We did the bold predictions. You guys want to do 1 break, 2 breaks?
Let's take a break.
Let's see
We'll
where
come
it
back.
goes.
Start.
No, we're going to do this. We're going to take a 13-minute break.
All right.
13 minutes. We're going to come back at 11:10, and then we're going for broke until 1 o'clock.
Week 1.
Yep.
We'll be back.
We'll be back. Welcome back to Getting Sports with Drunk. I'm your host, Cupcake the Riddler, and I'm joined by everyone.
Minus Jeff.
Who's here?
He's right here.
You gonna stop playing that music anytime soon?
Nope.
Baby.
I don't like coming in over the music. I don't like doing that.
Well, it's good.
Well, we're not doing it next week.
I do what I please.
Well,
I do think we should start mixing up the stations that are playing during the breaks.
Listen, I can't control what music they're going to play. I just pick a station and it rolls.
I know.
You said stations, not music.
Station.
Station, what would you like to hear?
Ooh.
Tom Petty.
Well, this is a
Billy
sports
Joel.
show,
Billy
and the
Joel?
music doesn't matter.
Billy Joel.
It's filler for when we're not on
Billy
Motown.
Joel.
I mean, not Motown Philly. God damn it.
Motown.
Twisted
Actually,
Sister?
can we bring that up? Because we talked about it briefly in our group text.
Oh, about that awful national anthem?
Kyle sent us one of the funniest texts he's ever sent. Hey, Pete. But that was pure comedy, Kyle.
Please don't say hi, Peter, in the chat, Rebecca.
She's going to. She instantly goes to her laptop to get her weekly hello.
Even Jeff said it was a good national anthem. And that was weird because he hates Boys II Men.
Kyle, they're an overrated 90s group.
Fuck you, son of a bitch. I'm sorry. You don't fuck with them, all right? I told you could do whatever else you want to me.
Peter Souls did not delete his Facebook. He misspelled the word Milwaukee and changed it to his first name.
It's for security purposes.
Secure for what?
Just things.
Some stuff happened to Kyle. We're taking some precautions.
Did you keep your last name?
Off air, I'd like to know what happened.
We're not going to talk about it.
It's over with.
Kyle and I are the ones that know.
And that's...
He also drunkenly told Jeff.
Did I?
Yep. At TCB that night.
That's something I didn't know.
Because he's asked you why you changed your name on Facebook. And you went and you opened up with a pretty hilarious line about it. And then, went in there. But we're not going to disclose
I thought I
it.
remembered everything from that night.
All right, so week one.
Do we got Buffalo at
Well-
the Baltimore... Oh, I'm sorry.
Souls, taking charge.
I thought we were doing Riddler's rankings.
Oh, man. Riddler's ranking sirs.
What was the topic, Mark?
I remember. It was best coaches going into week one.
Marvin Lewis.
Damn it.
I knew that's where Mark was going. I just said it.
Jason Garrett.
Best coaches or like most exciting? Like, what do you mean best?
In your opinion, let's do most exciting going into week one.
Most hype type of thing?
Yeah, whatever you feel.
We didn't actually like plan this ahead of time, so
Hey,
we're
don't,
gonna
don't
talk.
spoil it. Don't spoil it.
We're gonna talk the first. We're gonna talk the first week one matchup that Kyle's gonna do, and Riddler's gonna do some homework.
All right.
We just lost a viewer on Facebook Live. It was me.
So we're going to talk about the Bills.
Kyle, shut up.
Bills Ravens. Go ahead, Kyle.
So we're just going to briefly go over it. So Nathan Peterman's starting,
Bills.
That was so
which
loud.
I think is a mistake,
Okay.
versus Joe Flacco. Whatever.
You know why it's not a mistake? And I actually agree with the Bills doing this because to me that means the coaching staff and the front office are looking at their team going, we have nothing besides LaShawn McCoy. Let's not ruin this young kid's, confidence by throwing him out there with nothing to work with. That happens too often with rookie quarterbacks.
I think if Peterman goes on to throw another 5 picks,
Then he's in.
They'll know kind of what they have here. But I think it's a low risk. What if Peterman goes out and has a big day? You never know.
Balls out.
I it's a quick segment before we'll do the homework thing here, but I don't agree with the ruining of confidence for rookie quarterbacks thing. I think that's a bunch of bullshit, in my opinion. I think it's bullshit. If you go in as a rookie quarterback and you start week one and you get dominated and destroyed, and that ruins your confidence, then you're not cut to be a quarterback in the NFL.
I'm saying season long, not just one game.
But I'm saying, it doesn't matter. Season long. If you go in as a rookie quarterback and you go 2-14 and you throw 14 touchdowns and 14 interceptions with a completion percentage of 40% and you throw for 2,800 yards, that's a terrible season. But if that ruins your confidence as a quarterback, as a player, then you're not cut out to be a quarterback in the NFL. I'm sorry. What did Peyton Manning do his rookie year? What did he get? 4 wins?
1.
I don't think he got 1 win.
You might only have... I'd have to look it up.
Peyton Manning played terrible, though, his first year. He did not have a good first year. And he's argued as one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. And Tom Brady didn't go in and necessarily play lights out the first time that he, his first few games. Aaron Rodgers didn't go out and play lights out the first year he played after Favre left. But like, I'm saying like if you're that good, it doesn't matter. Tom Brady goes in and year out and puts up MVP numbers and goes to the Super Bowl with a team that has no business offensively being in a Super Bowl. I'm sorry, they don't. They don't have a number one running back ever. The offensive line has been good. This year will be a test to that type of thing. The receivers, they've since Randy Moss, they haven't had, like on paper, a top 5 receiver in the NFL. Peyton Manning had that stint. Peyton Manning has had good weapons around him, but also doesn't have the ability to move and stuff like that.
I agree with what you're saying, that if you can't handle the pressure, then you shouldn't be in the league at all. I agree. The being flustered shouldn't be an influence. But with Peterman starting, you kind of have it's essentially having a rookie anyway. He's an unproven guy. Why just give it a shot? Either it's going to work out or it's not. So I have no problem with that start.
I mean, I think that in this game, Baltimore wins. I mean, Baltimore takes over, like defensively.
Mm-hmm.
Just because Buffalo doesn't have, a good offensive line, they don't really have any wideouts. So they're going to be able to just keep McCoy in check. If they're able to keep McCoy in check, they should have no problem in this game. But if McCoy can break through and do his thing, then Buffalo has a good chance. And, you don't know with Joe Flacco. You don't know what Joe Flacco you're going to get. He could either go out there and he can throw dimes all over the field, or he completely throw 4 picks. This game is I want to say weather permitted.
Hold on, though. You're also forgetting the fact Joe Flacco has the ability to go out there and throw 4 touchdowns and 4 picks. No, he has the ability to do both. We've seen it.
I mean, for me, the Ravens win this game, and it's just going to set the Bills on the course for that number 1 or number 2 pick in the draft next year.
I don't think it'll be that high. I mean, I don't think the Bills are going to be that bad.
They have McCoy. That's it. What's another offensive weapon in Buffalo?
Technically, they have Kelvin Benjamin.
So you said technically. All right. I mean, it's just
he's actually not a person.
If Kelvin Benjamin gets back to the way he was a few years ago, they got a true number 1. But
there's no one throwing him. I'm saying Buffalo's going to be bad.
We don't know what Peterman's going to do. And Peterman he had that really bad game. Other than that, he didn't really play all that terrible after that.
Hey, he came in versus the Jags in the playoff game. Almost got it done. Almost. But one drive, we'll see. Well, do you want to do score predictions, or do you want to just leave that alone?
We could do score predictions.
I mean, we kind of said all this. We don't know what's going to happen with Peterman. I think we tend to agree that the Ravens are going to win this game. I think maybe not a blowout, but
game.
21-3 Ravens.
21-3.
Wow.
I think.
Hello, Mr. Sanderson.
I think it's going to be 17-10.
17-10. I'll go. Well, he's still working. I'm going to go 27-13 Baltimore.
What are we doing? Sorry.
Score for Bills-Ravens.
Bills-Ravens. Bills-Ravens. 24-21 Buffalo. 24-21 Buffalo. Michael Crabtree has 2 touchdowns and 100 yards.
All right.
That's pretty much Joe Flacco's stat line.
Next game. Very big hype on this game. Jacksonville Giants.
Riddler's rankings are in.
Yeah. Can I do my rankings real quick? Just so we
take a pause on the Jacksonville
Giants. That way we can just be fluid with all the rest of the stuff, so I can pay attention.
Yeah.
Okay, so I did it this way. Instead of doing like the five, because I don't know if my best head coaches are going to Belichick, Tomlin,
exciting.
Exciting, poised to make exciting storylines.
Don't put Tomlin in there. He's not a top 5 coach.
He is, but he isn't. I agree with you, Kyle. I don't think he's a top 5 coach in the NFL right now. We'll have this discussion, and it's because I agree with you. He makes a lot of gutsy calls, and they only pan out 50% of the time. Now, I understand when they pan out, Steelers win games, but when they don't pan out, it's usually the reason the Steelers lose the game. So, if you're, 1 out of every 2, that's 8-8 on a season. You don't make the playoffs. So, I'd agree with you. I do not think I think he's got a lot of talent around him, and he has his entire tenure. But overall, if we're talking like all head coaches in the NFL right now, I do think he's top 5 coach just because.
I think he's more of a leader than he is a coach. If that makes sense.
But doesn't matter. Hardware. He's got hardware, and that's all that really matters. But for exciting storylines, Riddler's rankings. So for me, number 5, we're going with Pat Shurmur, new head coach of the Giants, healthy New York Giants.
Hey,
good
Dan.
segue for Jacksonville talk we're going to be doing shortly. But new head coach of the Giants, healthy New York Giants.
Revamped
New York Giants. What?
Revamped New York Giants.
Broke New York Giants. But, hopefully the big question mark for me on the Giants, which we'll talk about still, is defense. Was this just them being on the field too much last year, or is this the New York Giants defense? Was it just a one and done season because they were on paper one of the best defenses we had seen over the past 10 years, a couple years ago, and last year, yikes.
They quit. They quit on McAdoo.
But
I think they bounce back.
So we'll see. Tend to see that, but it's still a big question mark. Beckham's not a question mark. Shepard's not a question mark. Barkley more or less is not a question mark. Eli Manning, you know what you're going to get. You've got the same thing from him since 2003 every year. As long as you can get him to the postseason. Look at Eli Manning goes away. A different Peyton Manning in an Eli Manning costume comes in.
Cooper.
Yeah. Could you imagine if Cooper Manning came into the NFL and he was regular season Peyton Manning and postseason Eli Manning?
We're talking all time.
I'm pretty sure he played wide receiver too.
Tight end.
Tight end?
Yeah, he has a tight end.
And
but
they were saying he was the best out of the 3. He just got hurt a lot.
Anyway, Pat Shurmur, number 5. Ability to prove a lot of stuff, going up against a hot defense. Exactly, we're going to talk about that. It'll be the first game. Number 4. What? Pointed at something.
No, I whipped it off the table.
Boogers.
That's a shot. No, I'm just kidding. Number 4, Anthony Lynn. Does anybody at this table besides Kyle know who Anthony Lynn is?
Nope.
Anthony Lynn? No.
Head coach of the Chargers.
Yeah. Fucking.
That's not who it is.
You guys deserve shots for that.
It's true.
I don't care who the coach of the Chargers
Yeah,
is.
but you deserve shots. It's a football show. And we called him out, Kyle. High five. Psh. I just think the Chargers are poised for a great season.
Yeah, I think
Phillip
so.
Rivers, I don't give a shit what anybody says about him. Phillip Rivers is the Carmelo Anthony of the NFL. He is. He's the Carmelo Anthony of the NFL. Carmelo Anthony in the NBA goes out, besides last season, he always goes up and he's been a great player. He puts up points. He does a lot of great things. He's a game changer. Phillip Rivers is the same thing. He goes out, he throws for a lot of yards, throws for a lot of touchdowns. He's a game changer. He goes out and he does his things. But, much like Carmelo Anthony, who happened to have been drafted, with Bosh, James, and Wade, who have all won tons of championships, he was drafted with Big Ben and Eli, who have won championships and got the job done. Phillip Rivers is the little brother of that NFL draft. Phillip Rivers is poised to do things this year. Phillip Rivers is going to go out and he's just going to play Phillip Rivers football. I don't expect anything different from Phillip Rivers than we've seen the past few years. He's going to go out, he's going to throw for yards. I think he's going to flirt with 4,000 yards. I think he's going to flirt with 40 touchdowns. I don't know if he'll break either of them, but he's got a good receiving core around him. He's got a good running back and a defense that's ready to go out and disrupt football. And for the first time in his tenure as a San Diego Charger,
Los Angeles Charger.
He's still a San Diego Charger. Until that stadium is built, he's a San Diego Charger. I don't give a shit where they play because there's no fans at either of those games. But for me, he is in a division that's wide open.
Oh, big time.
Wide open.
Can I just say this? They would have made the playoffs last year
Oh yeah, they would have.
if they just had a fucking kicker.
Yeah, they would have won at least 2 games if they had a kicker that
Week
was
1, week
consistent.
2.
But regardless of that, I think that he's got potential to come in and have coach of the year type potential behind him with the team that he's got to lead. Number 3, Bill O'Brien. If healthy. Got arguably the meanest front 4 in football. If they're healthy. has arguably the best wide receiver in football. If he's
Has
healthy. And I'm not saying he's had health issues, but it's just a looming.
It happens.
It's a looming thing for the team. Has the most promising young quarterback in football, if he's healthy. And he's got a quiet stud at running back. They've got potential to do damage in the AFC South without a doubt. And
he got rid of Savage
Nation.
Yeah,
But
that's not a bad thing, Kyle.
But my thing too is for this one's a little bit more heavy weighing on the week 1 thing because I think Bill O'Brien has potential to go in and make the biggest storyline of week 1. You go in and shut up the Patriots week 1 with Tom Brady. Sure, it's the Patriots, and granted it's where we live. People find excuses. Oh, they didn't have Julian Edelman, or the running back fumbled. And it's like that wherever you go. I'm not saying it's the Patriots. Like where we live, that's what we hear is because it's the Patriots. I'm telling you, it's a fact. If you go out, if you watch football all week long in Chicago, and the Green Bay Packers lose or the Lions lose, they talk about that. It's the same thing. It's a regional thing. The Patriots, just because they've been winning, it seems national, but really regional wherever you are, that's the talk about the teams around that, the hated teams around those parts. But it's got potential to go in and make a very exciting week 1. And the only reason he's third is because if we're talking week 1, the 2 guys ahead of him have, in my opinion, bigger potential. Number 2, Hugh Jackson. We just talked about it. New Cleveland Browns team. We say it every year, I know. But this time, the Cleveland Browns actually look like a new Cleveland Browns team. I think the Steelers fans at this table can say this definitely looks like a more promising for the future Cleveland Browns team. Not just first-round picks that are, bust potential. They went out, they got the quarterback that they wanted in the draft, and then they brought in another quarterback as well to complement him, and maybe take the snaps until he's ready to start. And a careful quarterback, one that takes care of the football, one that's got mobility in his legs. We said it before, serviceable running back, 2 serviceable playmaking wide receivers, and a defense that kept them in a lot of games last year. They lost a lot of games by 1 score.
Over the last 2 years, they have very rarely gotten blown out.
And
their defense is very underrated.
I'm not saying they're going to make the playoffs, much like what we're going to talk about with the next head coach type of thing, the number 1 head coach. But it's that same type of thing where it's if they can go into week 1 and beat the Steelers, that's a big storyline.
Super Bowl.
No, but that's a big storyline, and I think Hugh Jackson has potential. Even if the Browns win 6 games to go from 0-16 to 6-0 or 6-0, 6-10, that's big, and I think he has potential to have a very exciting season. Number 1 is more so for, I know it'll be for Mock's whole thing, but more so for the week 1 prediction. And it's the same argument for Hugh Jackson. It's the same argument for Bill O'Brien. If Matt Nagy can go in and pull a win out at Green Bay, that's the storyline of the week 1. And the reason I say it's a storyline of week 1, because unlike the other 2 games, that's the only game on at that time. They play Green Bay tonight at 8:25, and that's the only game on.
Prime time.
If Matt Nagy can take those Bears and beat the Packers tonight, that's the storyline of week 1. That, in my opinion, that's storyline week 1 right there. That overshadows anything that can happen in the Monday night games, and it completely blankets anything that happened prior. Even if Hugh Jackson and Bill O'Brien go in and lead their teams to wins, they go in and they beat the hyped up Aaron Rodgers is back Green Bay Packers in Lambeau. I think that has potential to be biggest storyline of week 1. And that's the Riddler's rankings.
I like it.
All right.
I agree with that.
Jacksonville, New York Giants. Interconference play to start week 1.
A lot of hype. Jalen Ramsey versus Odell Beckham. That's probably the biggest matchup.
Let's break it down, Kyle. Let's break it down. On paper, sure. The world is talking about that, but what the world's not talking about is 2 savvy veterans going at it for the multiple time in their career. We're talking Paul Plesnowski, Eli Manning. That's what we're talking about.
Paul Plesnowski retired.
Yeah, I know, but
He's there in spirit.
he's one of those guys that's always there.
You got a high-powered offense versus a high-powered defense.
Ooh, never mind about Matt Nagy being number 1. We're going to drop him to 3 and shift Bill O'Brien to 2, Hugh Jackson to 1. Just got some updates. Khalil Mack and Roquan Smith will only play 20 snaps tonight. They're not winning.
Why?
Why aren't they winning, or why are they
No,
not
why-
winning?
Those
are they-
20
Because-
snaps, though, it's going to be one hell of a...
Oh, yeah, hopefully it's 20 snaps together. Don't do that bullshit where one plays 20 and the other one plays another 20. Just put them in there together. Well, because Roquan Smith held out because the helmet-to-helmet rule, he wasn't sure what was, he was confused about it, and he didn't want to be fined and missed games and get, suspended for games for something he didn't understand. So he held out until right after the third preseason game, and then he didn't play the fourth preseason game. And then Khalil Mack, obviously, it's only been a Bear for a week, so he's he's not entirely familiar with the playbook, check with me's, all that stuff.
Tackle the quarterback. That's your job.
Yeah, but the
I know.
It's different for him because Khalil Mack's going from being a 43 defensive outside line or a 43 defensive end outside linebacker to being a 34 outside stand-up linebacker. So now in plays where there's audibles that need to be made by your middle linebacker, who's going to be Danny Trevathan calling all the shots on defense, if he sees something that he thinks Rodgers is going to do and he needs to switch up a call, as the outside linebacker in a 34 defense, he's going to switch from going after Rodgers to having to drop into some flat zone, hook and lateral type coverage. And if he doesn't know those calls, last time someone didn't know those calls, Chris Conte blitzed and Randall Cobb was all alone in the end zone. So that's probably why 20 snaps. Now, if you guys want to go ahead and talk Giants, Jaguars, I'm going to go drink some cyanide in the bathroom.
All right. This is a very interesting matchup because you already said, Ramsey's been running his mouth the whole offseason talking about anybody and everybody in the league. It's been fun to watch. I think he's kind of ridiculous, but right now, he is one of the top 3 corners, and we've said Odell's a top 3 receiver, so it is going to be interesting to watch them go head to head. For me as a Giants fan, me and you were talking about this yesterday, Kyle. We know Ramsey's going to try and get in Beckham's head. I'm very, I don't know if excited's the right word, but I'm curious to see how he responds. And
I disagree with you.
Why?
Because Jalen Ramsey and Beckham are actually friends off the field.
No, I know.
I don't think he's gonna do the Josh Norman thing.
I don't think it'll be as bad as, but Ramsey he runs his mouth, so I think he's gonna try and get in his head a little bit and try and get him off his game. And I'm curious to see if Beckham bites on it again, because so far everything this offseason, at least to me, has pointed that Odell's kind of realizing he's got to stop acting like a kid. He, through the whole contract thing, he was in camp. He never held out anything, never threatened it. So I hope that he doesn't bite on stuff like that.
Well, my thing too is I think with Beckham versus all the other people we talk about, Beckham knew he was going to get his money. The Giants wanted Beckham, and Beckham wanted the Giants. Beckham wanted the Giants if the Giants were willing to give him around the price he wanted.
Yeah.
And that's the key word right there is around. Earl Thomas wanted X, Y, and Z. He came out of holdout because he knows age-wise he has a lot more mileage on him than someone like Beckham does. So he's not going to miss. He can't afford to miss a season like Bell can. Bell can afford to miss a season, especially as a running back. Really, for Bell to miss a season as a running back or Beckham to miss a season as a wide receiver takes a lot. It's a lot less impactful on his career than Earl Thomas at the age he is to miss a season as a safety. Missing a season as a safety is detrimental to his career because realistically he's not running out there every game risking serious injury. It can happen, but you look at today's game, how heavy it is, especially with a receiver like Beckham who's running over the middle so much and getting hit. Injuries are very much a part of his game. Same thing with Bell, running the ball type of thing. So, but I think that there was the mutual understanding that this was going to happen, where that wasn't the case between Donald, Mack, and Thomas. I don't think that mutual agreement there because Aaron Donald, he put a number in his head with his agent that he wanted, and he wasn't going to budge till he got that money, and he's got some leg to stand on because unlike Odell Beckham Jr., there are other receivers in the league doing what he does. Mm-hmm. It's not a lot, but there's 3 in the league that can do what he does, in Hopkins, Jones, and Brown. Yeah. There is not another defensive tackle in the league that can do what Aaron Donald does. A defensive tackle that gets 10 sacks in a season is absurd. That's an absurd thing to have. Because your job is to fill the gap, stop the run. Imagine if Vince Wilfork averaged 8 sacks a season. He'd be the greatest defensive player ever.
Yeah.
He would be. Because he was so big, he clogged that middle hole, nobody got through him, and then add on top of it, he's getting a sack every other game. He'd be probably the best defensive player to ever play football. And that's what Aaron Donald has potential to be. So for him, Khalil Mack has potential to be that. Khalil Mack has potential to be a 15 to 20 sack guy a season, and that's huge. You're talking. If a guy can get 16 sacks a season for his career, that means he got a sack a game. Though that's like Elvis Dumervil numbers, and he's going to be regarded as one of the best pass rushers of all time. And so, but Beckham, I don't think the holdout was ever an option because I think Beckham knew he was going to get that money because Beckham, he put a number in his head, but he was willing to flex because he wanted to be a Giant.
Mm-hmm.
Khalil Mack, I think Khalil Mack knew that the Raiders were not going to be the team that they should be, so he was willing to go out somewhere else to get that set number. I think Donald was the same way. I think Donald was like, I'm a one-of-a-kind player. Any team, no matter how good their defense is going to benefit from having me on their team. Beckham had a little bit more flex because Beckham's not the only guy doing Beckham things. If that makes sense.
I got you.
We talked about it earlier, too. The Carmelo Anthony, Phillip Rivers comparison. I think we could do a lot of NBA, NFL comparisons this year. It's a very Cinderella story kind of thing for both a lot of things. I don't know, about you guys, but I'm going to feel the same way about watching any Jacksonville Jaguars football game this year as I am about watching San Antonio Spurs football season this year. Basketball. Sorry. A lot of sports going on. But how long can, you guys aren't big basketball guys, I understand that, but how long have we watched basketball and it's Manu Ginobili and Tony Parker, right? How long? Forever. Seems like forever.
1999 when they both started playing for them.
As long as we've been able to dribble a basketball, they've been playing for the Spurs. But it's been the same thing for Jacksonville. As long as we've been watching football, it's been Paul Plesnowski and it's been Mercedes Lewis. Now, Manu Ginobili retires, Plesnowski retires, Tony Parker goes to the Hornets, Lewis goes to the Packers. Like, I'm excited for Jacksonville as a city to get this football team going the way they're going defensive-wise, and even offensively, if Bortles can hold his own. He did enough last year to do what he had to do to get into the AFC Championship game. But it's just weird to watch Jacksonville football and not see those two guys lining up. It's odd. Those are two guys that were always, through our whole career of watching football, under the radar, underappreciated, big-time impactful players for that Jacksonville team. You take those two guys out of Jacksonville over the past decade, and Jacksonville very well could be 1-15 on a regular basis.
Real quick, Postlesny, one of the highlighted players of Buffalo Bills having success elsewhere.
Yep.
Yeah. It's kind of sad. See him gone.
Another part of this game I'm excited to see is Jacksonville run defense versus Barkley. The run defense for Jacksonville last year was weak. Not weak enough to where it exploited their defense.
Yeah.
But it wasn't as dominant as, their pass defense.
Right.
I'm hoping to see that, the Giants offensive line work Barkley in this game a lot more than people think.
Has it been confirmed that Ramsey is going to blanket Beckham for the game?
I don't know.
It was never said, but I think
I'm assuming that it's what's going to happen.
I don't think it is.
Does Ramsey go into the slot?
Well, I don't think so. But
because they may try and hide Beckham in the slot.
I think the Jacksonville defense secondary wise is strong enough that no matter what side of the field Beckham's on, they feel like they can unless he lines up opposite Ramsey, like on the other side of the field type of thing, because Norman only wanted to play the one side of the field type of deal. If they do something like that, where Ramsey's going to stay on his side of the field because they feel like secondary wise. I mean, if Beckham comes out in the first two drives and puts together 6 catches for 92 yards in the first 2 drives, then
that'd be cool.
I think they're going to put Ramsey on him, solely. But I think they believe in their secondary enough to have that type of thing, like whoever Beckham is lined up against is going to cover Beckham. And I think they're going to do that because I think we're going to see a lot less man coverage against the Giants for the Jaguars this game because of things like Saquon Barkley being able to come out of the backfield and a big tight end in Evan Ingram. So I think that's how they're going to – I think that they're going to try to stack the box a little bit against Barkley. But for me, it's either going to be we're going to see a lot of zone coverage and trying to use their defensive strengths to cover everybody, or we're going to see a lot of Ramsey straight up on Beckham man to man, and everybody else is going to try to cover. They're going to stack the box and just let Ramsey do his thing against Beckham.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
I think we're going to see a huge game out of Ingram, week 1. I think Ingram's going to be the kind of that X factor guy that they're not going to be able to cover well. Because he's big like a tight end, but he moves like a receiver.
Yep.
I think Ingram's going to have a big time week 1.
Yeah.
All right, let's.
Well, so getting back to what Kyle said, it's exciting because the Giants' offensive hype
Yeah.
It is here, and we'll see if the Jacksonville defense can repeat the success.
Score?
Yeah, prediction and score. We got to move on to the next game.
Giants 24, Jacksonville 13.
Who's your star of the game?
Star? Barkley.
I say 21-14 Giants. Ingram.
I have 28.
Real quick, sorry.
Sure.
Let's do this real quick because it's not something you have to think about too hard. But we said star, but I want a reason. Give me like a basic stat line. So like for Barkley, like what's his rushing yards? Or,
Barkley has 88 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns.
Okay.
Ingram, 75 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Okay.
I have Jacksonville 28, Giants 21, Bortles 2 touchdowns, 230.
That's your start of the game, Bortles.
Anyone else want to hit Kendall?
I want to hit him for picking Bortles, not for picking the Jaguars, though. I'm trying to think. All right. New York Giants 31, Jacksonville 28 in OT.
Real defensive struggle.
In OT, star of the game is Eli Manning, 387 yards, 3 touchdowns.
All right. What's next, Kyle?
So the next game is the Bucks at the Saints.
Saints, 387. Tampa Bay, 7. Star of the game, Mike Evans, 1 touchdown, 1 yard. No.
I mean, there's not too much really to... I mean, Jeff could probably say more, but what's the headline there? To see Kamara? I mean, there's really no storyline there for me.
No.
I mean, the Saints are going to win. It's probably not going to be a fun game to watch unless you're a Saints fan.
The storyline would be if the Saints' offense is continually explosive as they've been the past X amount of years.
No, the storyline is can Ryan Fitzpatrick do Ryan Fitzpatrick things?
Well, he can. Everyone knows that. He's the best.
But everyone doesn't know that. That's the thing. I mean, Ryan Fitzpatrick has gone out and played some pretty terrible streaks of games, but he's also gone out and put up some pretty serious numbers in streaks. Can Ryan Fitzpatrick come out and... Because here's the thing. The Saints, in my opinion, are going to win this game because the Saints have a better defense. But can Ryan Fitzpatrick go up and somewhat keep up with Drew Brees? He's got weapons to do it. He's got a very speedy, good route-running receiver in Jackson and a very big down-the-field, not deep threat, but good deep route option in Evans.
And he's got O.J. Howard and he's got Chris Godwin.
He's got good receivers to work with, and he's got a backfield that's formidable.
And
he's
Cameron
got
Brate.
weapons to work with.
I wanna come back because before, Kyle, you mentioned in your bold prediction that Fitzpatrick starts the whole season, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if that pans out, do you think the Buccaneers hold on to Winston?
No.
I can't see
it
how
makes
you
him
could do that.
expendable.
Absolutely.
I think the Buccaneers are. I honestly think that they're ready to move on from Winston.
Yeah.
I think what they need to. I think for them, this is a make or break year for Winston, and what that means for them is, Fitzpatrick is not by any means going to be their guy moving forward. But if Fitzpatrick's going to be the guy that's serviceable for them to keep them in games and winning maybe 6 to 8 games a year and keep them in contention in their division, maybe upset some division rivals and win a division, surprisingly, because we've seen that before. We've seen teams that are not that. Look at the Seahawks the year that the Packers won the Super Bowl. That was the first time ever in NFL history that a team sub 500 made
a losing record.
Right, but the thing was they had a losing record, but they went 5-1 in the division.
Yeah,
and I'm not saying that's going to happen in the other division, but say the Bucs go 5-1 in the division, and they go in if they have they play a last place schedule. That means that they're going to play 3 other division last place teams. They put 3 wins together there. They're going to play a last place team in an AFC division, put another win together there. Now you're sitting at 9 wins. Maybe surprise a couple teams. I mean, I know it's easier said than done, but we've seen it happen is my thing.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things that Fitzpatrick, my thing is for Winston, Winston's either going to come in and he's going to either perform to the point where they think that he can play again for them, that he's going to be the guy, or he's not. But I also think that the Buccaneers are looking at kind of what Kyle said. If Fitzpatrick can come in and prove that he can be the quarterback to help them get through a little bit of a rebuild where they get a new quarterback, Winston's gone. Winston has not lived up to the hype.
He can go to Jacksonville.
Winston hasn't lived up to the hype, and Winston has had the weapons to do it.
I agree. I agree.
This game, to me, is kind of a trap game for the Saints.
Oh, it absolutely is.
Because the
This
Bucks,
is a beat yourself game. This
Yeah.
is what this game is.
the Bucks have a team that could beat them, and the defense played really well for the Saints last year. But who knows what they're going to do again? We see it. It's more of they struggled a lot more than they've been good.
I don't want this to sound like a shot, and I don't mean this to be, but the Saints, in my opinion, this season need to avoid doing what the New York Giants do, and that's beat yourself.
Yeah.
Very rarely do the Giants go into a season and not make the playoffs because they just got beat by other teams. They beat themselves.
Absolutely.
When they missed the postseason in the Eli Manning era, the majority of the time it's because 2 or 3 of those losses have been themselves imploding.
Yeah.
Whether it's offensively or defensively. So that's what we got to avoid. I mean, for me personally, especially because I'm pretty sure it's in the Superdome, right? This is a home game for the Saints. Opening up the season, Saints coming off, feeling like they got everything to prove type of deal because they should have been sitting in the NFC Championship game. I think the Saints come out with a vengeance. That only gets heightened against a division rival. I think the Saints come out. I think the Saints walk all over Tampa Bay. I think the Saints beat them 42-18.
I don't even give him 18.
No, 42-17. Sorry, that's what I meant to say. 42-17. And I think your star of the game is I think it's Drew Brees. I think Drew Brees throws for 467 yards and 5 touchdowns.
Dude, that'd be dope. You're screwed.
Yeah, I think the Saints are going to run away with this one. And I think this is even going to, like I said, I'm not totally sold on Kamara yet. And I think this week 1 is going to blow him up, and everyone's going to write him off as, the new, like the next Bell or anything. Saints are going to win. 42-10.
Who's the star?
Michael Thomas.
With?
300 rushing yards. No, I think
Good
he'll
on
have
him.
120 yards and a touchdown.
I think it's going to be a lot closer than everyone thinks. I think the Saints do win 24-23. And I think the player of the game is Kamara with 120 yards and a touchdown.
I got 36-20 Saints. Breeze 3 touchdowns, 335.
Hopefully he can stay under 300 yards. That'd be great.
It's going to be interesting, too, for the Getting Sports with Drunk League, too, because no head-to-head matchups. It's all points. So it's no panicking after week 1 when you're in last place.
So real quick, my dad tuned in during the Facebook Live.
Also, no
portion.
300-yard bonus.
Ooh. And he asked real quick, what's everyone drinking? He missed the starting lineups.
Okay,
So it's real fast.
I had a Miller 64.
Sorry, Pete. I had a Hoegaarden Belgian wheat.
Sorry, Pete.
no, sorry, Mike.
I got a 2017 Bourbon County,
From
Chicago.
Goose
Goose
Island.
Island.
That's a shot. That's a shot.
We always talk about the city.
Yeah, but you have to highlight the brewery.
Well, Bourbon County is
You know what?
synonymous with
It's
Goose
growing
Island.
on me.
Everybody else said the brewery.
All right, well, I was in the zone here.
I also have a Goose Island Bourbon County,
yeah.
but I have the limited release Northwoods series, blueberry and marzipan.
There you go. What's the next game, Kyle?
Texans Pats has the potential to be an offensive show. Also, could suck.
It's not gonna suck.
It's not going to suck.
No, but it can because Deshaun Watson coming off the injury.
Well, my thing is, it's not gonna suck because this is what's gonna happen with where we live. There's in my opinion, there's 3 out. Well, that's not my opinion. It's just factual. There's 3 outcomes. The Patriots dominate, the Texans dominate, or it's a close game. Either way, it's not going to be a boring game because it's going to be televised because of where we live. And if the Patriots go out and they dominate a Houston Texans defense that is all healthy right now, then as much as it's going to suck for non-Patriot fans, which all of us are not Patriot fans,
Well, kind of likes him.
right? But it's it's one of those things though, like you can't spit in the face of greatness if Tom Brady goes out and does Tom Brady things against this great defense,
Especially with no weapons.
Exactly. Then that's something to marvel at. The flip side of it, if Houston goes out and dominates against New England Patriots, any team that can dominate the New England Patriots like the Kansas City Chiefs did last opening season, or last season opener, it's exciting.
Yeah.
And if it's a close game, like it was the last time these two squared off when it was Watson and Brady, that was a very exciting game. That game stole the show that week. So, I don't think it's going to be a boring game regardless of the outcome.
I think Hopkins is going to have a huge week 1.
Bad for you.
But no.
Yeah.
I'll take the shot for this because I really honestly forgot. Is Butler still a Patriot?
No.
Where did he go?
Tennessee.
Tennessee. Okay. I'll take the shot for that. I honestly couldn't remember.
I just think
I'm not going to shake it. I want those stuff on the top.
I want the froth.
I want to chew my shot.
Houston has all the weapons in the world to compete with the Patriots. It's just a matter of if it in the fourth quarter.
Did Rebecca ever take her shot?
No.
Yeah, I didn't see it. Did you see it?
I didn't see it.
She didn't make that face. She's lying.
Rebecca, you're lying.
It's coming in.
You're
Throwing
lying.
it at you. You got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yay! All right,
Your
hold
shot.
on. Let's see.
Well, no, we'll keep talking. We don't even
All right.
gross out on the mic because we got a lot to cover still. We got an hour to do it.
Score?
Oh, okay.
Oh, we're done talking about the Patriots Texans?
What else do you want to talk about?
I'm saying, do you guys have anything?
Yeah,
to
I mean, we know Patriots is what you get when you get Tom Brady, blah, 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 Bill Belichick. Houston, we hope big things from them. That's it.
Patriots win 24-20.
Oh, Souls, you son of a bitch. That's exactly what I was going to say.
You can say it.
I know, but
might have a different star of the game.
I wanted the glory.
Tom Brady wins star of the game with a fourth quarter comeback, and he throws for 350 with 3 touchdowns. Tell me I'm wrong. Go ahead.
Hold on. What was your score?
24-20.
Oh, okay.
No. So what's your fourth quarter comeback? I'd like to know your fourth quarter comeback real quick.
They're down 21-10.
The Texans only scored 20 points. So that's a shot. Okay.
How?
You just
Because
said
you
that
said
the
they're
Patriots win 24-20.
Yeah.
But
So if they're down 21-10, so what are
Okay.
the Texans going to lose a point?
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
why, because when you said 3 touchdowns, I saw the same thing mocked, and I'm like, so what's the scenario here?
Well,
Is
Tom Brady's
Brady
going to come
setting them
back.
up for a game?
They're down 2 scores, and he comes back in the fourth quarter. And
I know.
scores
I just wanted to see what you were going to say because I knew you were going to be like,
The math just wasn't there. That's all.
when you said 3 touchdowns, I'm sitting here like,
And their fucking kicker is going to miss an extra point because he always does.
Kukiskowski?
No, the Texans kicker.
Can't even tell you that. Check that.
Kai Forbin? Whatever. not
Forbath.
No, it's a different guy.
There's another Kai?
Yeah.
See, NFL's making up names.
Tom Crabtree.
He's like Hawaiian. He's fucking terrible.
I have the same score.
Wow.
I'm sorry. No, I don't. 24-21. Texans. Start of the game, Hopkins, 140 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Wishful thinking, my friend.
It is.
Patriots 24-20. Tom Brady, 2 touchdowns. Bless you. 290.
Doesn't even get the bonus. Fuck you, Vito.
For all yous don't know, Vito is a local potato farmer. That was
No, he's just a local potato. Local orchard farmer.
Orchard.
He's really good at fertilizing the plants.
Well, your score?
31-24 Texans.
Wow.
31-24 Texans. Star of the game, J.J. Watt. 4 sacks, 1 forced fumble,
And
7
a pick
tackles.
6.
And a touchdown.
Also, start of the game for the Patriots, Tom Brady does do Tom Brady things, though. I think Tom Brady throws 3 touchdowns, 387 yards, 1 pick.
All right.
Offensive line for the Patriots is in serious question for the first time in Tom Brady's career. Nate Solder's gone, and they don't have answers on the offensive line for a very good non-blitzing team. The Houston Texans have the tools to get to the quarterback without blitzing a single person. There is no offensive line, with the exception of maybe a healthy Dallas Cowboys offensive line, that can hold J.J. Watt and Jadeveon Clowney back.
Watt will be done by the third quarter.
Huh?
So Watt will be hurt by the third quarter.
It usually gets a few weeks.
Yeah, he usually gets like 2 weeks in him. Unless a hurricane's coming through. Then he's got a lot of money to donate. All right, next game.
49ers Vikings. This game has potential to be Very fun.
I'm going to stick with my bold predictions.
I think we see Garoppolo get exposed.
Rebecca, can you do your shot? Because Mako has one.
Why?
It's Garoppolo. We've been saying it. You know it's Garoppolo. That's like saying cheese.
Yeah.
It's Chez.
Fucking get your shit out of here.
Hey, now that we're on Facebook Live, I wanted to make a statement to Pat Donovan, who's playing against us in fantasy in our Friends League. Pat, if you're listening or watching later, I just want to let you know, Garoppolo's Pizza is going to serve up a slice of defeat to you today and tomorrow. So, be ready.
Nobody else feel like football's not on today?
Oh, God, it's Saturday.
I do. I think we're going to see Jimmy G get
Do you
beat
think
up.
Kirk Cousins still falls flat?
Yeah.
So you think a low-scoring game?
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be... I think this game, people are going to be excited for it because there's a lot of hype coming into it. You have the, Cousins coming into the Minnesota. You have Garoppolo as the bona fide starter now.
All right, listen, we know it's Garoppolo, but don't say Garoppolo like it's sarcastic. We say it for fun, you jerk.
But it's going to be an interesting game to watch. I think the Vikings defense is going to ball out.
Kyle's face.
I am so ready for my prediction in the star right now.
I think Garoppolo.
I'm so ready.
I think Garoppolo gets it done again.
I'm also wearing my shorts like soccer
Why'd
players
you have to do
in
the
Europe.
hand thing?
I don't know. I always talk about it. For me, I don't know. I just feel like
For those of you watching on Facebook Live, when you see the camera of me, I keep like hitting my legs. It's because I have my shorts hiked all the way like rolled up to my crotch, like the European soccer players do, and I just can't help but touch my thighs.
I think Garoppolo is a winning quarterback, and he's going to keep winning. And it's going to start week 1.
Tebow is a winning quarterback too, Kyle.
Reader?
Kendall?
Can't throw, though.
Kendall?
Did
Did against the Steelers. Kendall?
One time.
That's all that mattered.
I'm sorry, I was distracted. I was reading something.
By what
Did
getting
we
thrown
do-
out of Kyle's house because of Tebow?
That's right. We didn't do scores, did we?
No,
all
just
not yet.
your input on the game.
Sorry, I was reading something and I was distracted. I'm
I
sorry.
just forgot.
I think, lots to be seen for the Vikings defense, see if they're going to be, it's kind of like the Jacksonville thing, if they can live up to last season. I think Garoppolo can play well. I think this will be a big test, but I expect another serviceable day from him. Above serviceable.
Well, it'll be a close-knit game. I think that both teams are going to show up to play. I think that Cousins is going to come out, shooting on all cylinders, and I think he's going to do the best that he can to get things done. I think the 49ers defense is really going to be the factor in this game. If the 49ers do in fact want to win, there's a lot of questions on the defensive side of the ball. I don't think they're going to be good all season, but I think they're going to come out as the underdogs, specifically the defense, ready to come out guns blazing. And they're going to do the best they can to try to limit the Vikings to as few points as possible with such a high-scoring offense. And the offense is going to come out and they're going to try to put up points against a really tough defense. The 49ers have their backs against the wall in the situation. And in a wide open division, in my opinion, because even though the Rams are poised to be absolutely great, it's a lot of questions for the Rams, which we'll get to when we talk about the Rams, but there are questions about the Rams offensively, if they can repeat what they did last year and if the defense can click and whatnot. But, the 49ers, they're coming into the season looking like they've got at least a really good shot at a wild card berth.
Yeah.
Because, who in the NFC, especially after Atlanta's lost, who in the NFC South is guaranteed a wild card spot? Who in the NFC East is guaranteed a wild card spot? I think it could very easily be, the team that comes out of the NFC East is the top dog and the other one is non-factor. So I think the 49ers are coming into this thinking that they've got the ability to put together some serious wins to make themselves an undisputed wild card one. And I think they're going to come out guns blazing and they're going to throw everything they've got at the Vikings for the first week.
All right.
Predictions, Souls, Star?
I think the 49ers win 24-23. And I think Garoppolo to start with 250, 2 touchdowns. But he's gonna lead them to the victory.
Come from behind?
Yeah.
Fourth quarter touchdown?
Yep. He's gonna Tom Brady it.
No, Tom Brady's going to Garoppolo it.
Vikings 17-10. Dalvin Cook. 95 yards, 2 touchdowns.
49ers 29, Vikings 20. Garoppolo
Gross score.
1 touchdown, 311.
Ew.
You just wanted that fucking bonus.
That's what I feel. It doesn't matter what I think.
Yeah, he's terrible at fantasy. He's got no skill.
Right, but I'm serving up a slice today and putting all you guys on notice. And the chair just sunk.
He's so short.
Well, I had half a beer, but it's time to go to the bathroom.
Vikings 24, 49ers 28. 3 of you guys were like, oh, he said the 49ers are going to win. Yeah, I said it.
On my way to the bathroom, when I want to talk about my shirt, our shirt.
No.
Don't worry, you don't really got a beer for the next one.
Star of the game for me on like ESPN and all that stuff is going to be Garoppolo, because I think Garoppolo's going to throw for 287, throw for a touchdown, and rush a touchdown in.
Alfred Morris.
Kyle Juszczyk. I do. I think Kyle Juszczyk's going to get a goal line.
I forgot that guy still played. He was really good.
He is really good. I think he's going to get a goal line punch for a rushing touchdown, and I think he's going to catch something around the 12 to 8 yard line in the red zone and take it in. I think he's going to get 2 touchdowns, and he's going to amass less than 20 total yards.
Yeah, next game, who cares? Titans, Dolphins. 9-6.
The winner of that game is NFL fans for having something to watch.
Is that a 1 o'clock game?
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's other games on.
It might be on, though. The Dolphins, what time?
It's not on.
No, what time do the Giants play at 1 too?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So what's
You're not allowed to talk, Rebecca.
What's going to happen
Unless you say the Shield sucks.
is that the Titans are going to win this game 12-6, and Ryan Suckup.
12-6?
12-6.
Are we talking all field goals?
All field goals.
Oh, wow.
Ryan Suckup is the player of the game. 4 field goals.
Yeah, that guy's awesome.
4 for 4.
Isn't Ryan Suckup like the best kicker ever?
No.
Kyle loves Ryan
Fuck that
Suckup.
guy. I'm not kidding.
Here's the deal. He's not the reason you guys didn't make the playoffs.
You're right,
though.
but he was the deciding factor at the end.
I just want you guys to know that Rebecca's asking permission from her Kendall to go to the bathroom.
What are you, 5?
Master,
It's May you go.
Yeah.
You think other people out there? Yes, this is a business.
Kendall, what's your score prediction for the Titans Dolphins?
Titans, Dolphins, Tennessee 23, Dolphins 17.
You know what, though? I do think there's storylines in this game. Because...
Did you give a prediction?
For its score? No, I didn't get there yet.
Could you do it?
I will. Just hold on. Listen, I still think Mariota can be good. I mean, week 1's going to be his first shot to prove, if he can still keep it up. They were a playoff team last year. I know their division was weak, but they were a playoff team. And it's the same on the Dolphins side of the ball. I mean, Tannehill's coming back. We know how much Kyle loves him. I mean, there's storylines there. They're not good, but I think the Titans win 17-10. Star of the game.
Mike Vrabel.
Suits up one more play.
Derrick Henry. 80 yards and a touchdown.
35-17, Miami Dolphins.
Wow.
Star of the game, Kenyon Drake, 114 rushing yards, 3 touchdowns.
Wow. Big day.
How do I keep drinking that?
So you're sick.
Because it's better than Miller 64. Next game?
We got the Bengals at the Colts.
Gross.
Luck's comeback.
Another barn burner.
That game could be very good.
Why, Kyle?
Because Luck's going to throw for 300 yards and 4 touchdowns and win that game 35-7.
I was waiting for him to say like 21. He threw for 4 touchdowns, but they negated
21.
one.
So, you're saying that because you hate the Bengals.
I'm a part of it. Also, Dalton sucks.
Yes, we know.
He's only good for the Bills fans. He'll be a Bill before he retires.
Perhaps.
They would throw him like the biggest
Category Bengals dying elsewhere.
But
I just don't think the Bengals have anything going for them. Perfect is out for the first 4 games. They've released George Ioka. Who else is left?
I think you're riding way too much on Luck. This
I
guy
might be.
hasn't played in over a year.
And he's going to make that big of a difference for that
But
team.
he hasn't played in over a year.
And that could easily
And
benefit
he's
him.
still not 100%. you're putting a lot on the arm of a guy that has played his entire career hurt, missed an entire season, and is now just coming back, and he's still not 100%.
And only has one weapon.
Yes. With an improved but still suspect offensive line, no running back, and an awful defense.
And here's the other thing, too. And I agree with you. I think Andrew Luck is poised to have a very good year. I do think he's going to have a great year. Especially, anything he does is going to look great after missing a year. But I think he's going to throw for, 3,600 yards. And I think he's going to throw for a good amount of touchdowns and whatnot. But my thing is even without Perfect, they still have a very good defensive line, the Bengals. And these players just got contracts between Dunlap and Atkins, right?
Yep.
Just got contract extensions, so they know what they're playing for. They're playing for their big money. They're playing for a team that they've been playing for and they want to play for. And despite everything that's happened, I think a lot of these players still want to play for this head coach. And
who's stopping AJ Green?
Throwing the ball to AJ Green.
Who's covering?
Answer my question.
Kyle, AJ Green's a top receiver every year.
Dalton's got to get it to
him,
and I don't think Dalton's gonna be able to get it to him.
He does it every year. He gets it to him. Green is always a top receiver.
Great year last year.
I think that for me, I think Bengals win 28-24 over the Colts, and I think AJ Green 150 yards, 2 touchdowns.
All right, give me a letter, and she's calling me, and I don't want to affect the broadcast.
I also think the Bengals win. I say 21-14. AJ Green, 122 touchdowns. There's no one to cover him.
Now you're riding too hard on Andy Dalton.
God, but we've seen Dalton and Green.
You talk about offensive line. Theirs is trash.
But we've seen Dalton and Green.
I think it's worse than the Colts.
My thing is, I'm not going to argue with that. I think the offensive line is absolutely terrible. But I think that the running game for the Bengals is going to start off. I think the Bengals are going to go back to old school football, and they're going to start off running the ball. And I think they're going to find enough success that the front seven has to respect the run, and they're going to come in, and I think they're going to slide that running back in. And they're going to slide the tight end in to block and let A.J. Green do his thing. And I think A.J. Green's going to have a very big second half. I don't think A.J. Green's going to amass those yards over the course of the game. I think that A.J. Green's going to go for 90 yards and 2 touchdowns in the second half. I think he's going to be very quiet in the first half. I think he's going to maybe do 3 catches for 40 yards or so in the first half. But I think they're going to. I think that both teams are very questionable. Quarterback wise, for week 1, I think they are even. And I only say that because Andrew Luck has to prove that the rust isn't all over him. I think Andrew Luck is a better quarterback than Dalton, without a doubt. But he's got to prove that the rust isn't there, and Dalton has a little bit more weapons to work with offensively. On the offensive line-wise, I think they're very equal. They're both very shaky offensive lines that have both improved over last year but are still not that good. I just think the Bengals' defensive line is... I think the defensive line is more talented than the entire defense of the Colts. So I think that the running game is what's they're gonna try to establish that running game really early to make the Colts respect that, and then they're gonna exploit him with AJ Green later.
The Colts defense this year is gonna be the one, like in fantasy, play everyone against the Colts. If you got someone going against the Colts, play them, because their defense is gonna be horrible. Kyle disagrees.
Yeah, because they had a top 10 run defense last year.
Play everyone against the Colts. That defense is going to be on the field a lot.
How are you going to say that?
Kyle,
it's not Jacoby Brissett anymore. There is a fine line between Brissett and Andrew Luck.
Okay.
And Andrew
Where's Luck been?
Okay, I get that. But you also got to remember, this guy is an all-pro talent.
Before he got hurt. 2 years ago.
He's going to be good this year.
That's speculating.
It's not speculation. It's the fact.
It's speculating.
That he's going to bring that team up and beyond.
That's speculating.
It's not. We'll find out this year then.
All right, Paul. Did you give your score prediction just now? And you started the game. Souls, you want to go?
I already went.
So
we did. It's up to you.
I didn't go. Right. So I agree with Kyle. I think Luck comes back and plays well, especially this game. My prediction: I'm going to give 33-27 Colts. But I have my start of the game as AJ Green 2 touchdowns, 173 yards, picking on a weaker Colts defense.
I think the Colts. I think Andrew Luck's going to have a really good year. I really do. I think he's going to get off to a little bit of a slow start against a decent pass rushing Bengals defense. I think the Bengals, much like the Ravens, I just think that even when there isn't stars as a unit, they just get to the quarterback effectively. They rush the quarterback effectively, and I just think that there isn't a lot of options for Luck to feel comfortable just hucking the ball up to besides T.Y. Hilton. And so I think he's going to have a great year. I really do. I think he's going to finish probably top 5 in the AFC, if not the NFL, in terms of yards and touchdowns. But I just think he's going to get off to a little bit of a slow start. I think he's going to have some real seriously good games going throughout, especially against some division opponents that are very weak.
See, for me, I think Luck has not a bad, but a rough year this year. Only because, like you just said, there's no options. I think if he gets through the season and stays healthy, then they can find him a number 2, get a running back, and get him an offensive unit to work around. Because you have T.Y. Hilton. Who's the number 2 receiver?
First of all, he had a tight end that's very good.
Who's the number 2 receiver?
Gotta look at it.
I'm not sold on Doyle though. That's
Personally,
I'm not sold on Doyle. I think Doyle is going to be very good this year in helping because they got Monk, right? The Colts got Monk, right?
Yeah.
Marlon Mack.
Yeah. Oh, Mack. Sorry, yeah, Mack.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I was thinking Malik Monk, NBA guy. I think that Mack's going to have an okay year. I think when they decide to run the football and Doyle has to stay in a block, I think he's going to be a very good blocking tight end, and I think he's going to be the best offensive lineman on for the run. I just don't know. I don't know. I think the games where there isn't a really good defensive pressure coming against Andrew Luck, I think Doyle's going to really excel. But I think teams that can get to the quarterback effortlessly.
I look at Doyle like a Jason Witten. I mean, I think he'll be good. He's not that big-time receiving tight end. He's a good blocker, and he'll get you the first down.
He's gonna be the third down option and the red zone guy. I can see that for this year.
Yeah,
I think next year, I think when the Colts kind of see how everything's going, I think the Colts are going to improve a lot over the year. I mean, I think in the next 3 years, if Andrew Luck can stay healthy, I think the Colts could very easily make some moves to get themselves to AFC Championship game potential because Andrew Luck, I think, is that good. I just think he's going to have a rough start. It's been a long time since he's played football. And I think, I really honestly believe, I think anybody that was out for as long as he would have rough tendencies coming back in.
I think they should go and trade for Randall Cobb. Bring in another receiver. The Packers are going to want to dump that contract. So
the problem is, I understand with what you're saying, and I agree that they need to bring in like another option for him. But the problem with the Colts just don't have enough to give away because the Colts need their draft picks.
What I mean is,
and Randall Cobb, the Packers want a second-round draft pick for him.
But they're paying him it's either $14 or $15 million a year. He's not worth that anymore. So I think if the Packers say, you know what, let's save the money, get rid of him. They don't use him like they used to. So if they get back a 4th or 5th, I think the Colts would make that price or pay that price. I don't
think the Packers are going to be willing to budge though because of the Rodgers-Cobb connection, and I don't think that they're going to want to upset Rodgers more than they already did with the Nelson thing. So I think for me it's Cobb. They're going to hold their price at a second-round pick, and if you don't, we'll eat Cobb's contract for the year. We've already planned on doing it anyway, and we know that even if Cobb only gets 600 yards and 3 touchdowns, those from Aaron Rodgers, those are going to be probably crucial 3 touchdowns and crucial big catches. So I mean, I agree with you that like Cobb would be an awesome guy for them to get, like a speedy kind of guy. I just don't think the Packers are going to budge from their asking price. And even if they did, I just don't think the Colts would be wise to give up anything that they've got because they've got so little in terms of their future. Like they don't have a whole lot of like this guy is going to be the guy moving forward. This is going to be a great guy. I don't think Mack, is going to be considered like, oh, this could be a top 2 running back in the NFL. I don't think he's that yet. He might be able to. Proves it this year. That'd be great. But right now he's not considered this good. This guy could be an Ezekiel Elliott, a Kamara, whatever. He doesn't have that hype about him. So I just got to do something. I think they're going to do something, but I think they're going to let Luck ride out the season. I think they're going to see what Luck can do with what he's got and see who, because Luck, just like Rodgers, just like Brady, is going to make certain players better. I mean, you look at Aaron Rodgers. I mean, would Devontae Adams be as good on any other team, or did he really benefit from having Rodgers throwing him the football? Either way, it doesn't matter. Every player is a product of the system they're in. So, there might be a young guy on that team that didn't do well last year with Brissett that might do really well with Luck.
I mean, there's even still, I know we got to move on, but there's even free agent guys. I mean, you still have, Des Bryant is still out there.
And Des Bryant could be a very good fit for
could be good there.
That Colts team, if the Colts decide, if they have the cap space to give whatever Des is asking for, because T.Y. Hilton is that speedy, type of receiver, that guy that goes all around the field type of deal. And Des Bryant would be your red zone and your short route option guy, because Des Bryant runs a really good short route. He's not a good 14, 15-yard down the field in route, hook and lateral kind of guy at the end of it. But if you need Des Bryant to run it, Des Bryant can cut with the best of them. And so if you need Des Bryant to run a quick 5-yard in route while T.Y. Hilton runs a 10-yard post pattern, Des Bryant's going to get open.
Yeah.
I also trust Frank Reich. He's going to do whatever he can to make sure that Andrew Luck stays healthy and has a good year.
I think he's going to have a great year. I just think he's going to get off to a rough start against the defense that, no matter how bad they are or who they're missing, much like the Baltimore Ravens, they have the ability to get to the quarterback. And Andrew Luck, I just think he's going to have a little bit of a PTSD type of thing when he sees, if he sees Atkins coming at him, it's going to be, he's not going to make the mistake. He's not going to throw the ball just up in the air and let whoever's around try to go get it. But I think we're going to see the first week, I think we're going to see Andrew Luck bail out of plays a little earlier than he will maybe by week 4 or 5.
If he stays healthy all season, to me, that's a good year for him. No matter what he does on the field, if he stays healthy for the whole year, I think he'll be.
Plus, let's not forget he's dating a girl that you guys went to high school with, so he looks just like Valerie's boyfriend.
All right,
let's go to the next one.
Next game.
Steelers Browns.
Oh, Hugh Jackson, star of the game. 4 correct challenge calls. No.
I'll kick it off. So I think we see.
Why did we let him talk? Why can't he just be the? Can we take his mic away?
Promising Browns team, going to be much better than they were the last year. Obviously, I think we all can agree with that. No Bell. I don't care about that. I think the Steelers' offensive line can make a lot of running backs look good.
You guys average. There's going to be a shout out to Chris Jankowski and Larry Souls, because I had this giant argument yesterday, and I couldn't believe it, but Bob Souls had my back. And I couldn't believe it. An argument about the Steelers, and I had Bob Souls having my back. Felt like a champ. If I was a faction, I would be the Shield, number one.
Personally, doesn't care about Bell.
No. But the argument was about the Steelers. If you look at the stats, the Steelers put up more points per game and average more yards per game without Bell on the field than they do with Bell on the field. They do.
They open it up, and they have the receivers to do it.
When Bell's on the field, you take 60 snaps a game. It's almost a guarantee that 35 to 40 of those snaps are going between Brown and Bell. When Bell's not on the field, about 20 of those snaps become open for other players. Brown's still going to get his targets, and that's and he should. Brown should be targeted 15 times a game. He should be.
Yeah.
When you have, I understand that we've had the argument on the show, whether it's the Ruse Kyle or whatever. Brown gets a lot of his yards because he's targeted so many times a game. But when you have a receiver as good as Brown is, as good as Beckham is, Jones, Hopkins, you should be targeting them.
Feed him the ball.
You should be targeting them. If you have a guy that has the ability to go out every single week and put up 200 yards and 3 touchdowns, you should be throwing him the fucking football. But when you take away the other guy that also warrants those touches, it opens up the play a lot more for 3rd, 4th string receivers, 1st and 2nd string tight ends, and other running backs. And I think the Steelers are better off without Bell. I personally think that after this week, when the Steelers take their victory in Cleveland, I think that the Steelers should spend their entire off week, the entire front office should be looking at finding a team that's willing to pay Bell money and get rid of him.
Trade him.
Get rid of him. And Bell's not going to go. I don't want that to be known to anybody who is listening about, why don't the Steelers just, trade Bell, whatever. Bell's not going to go to a team unless, and the thing is a team's not going to, the Steelers aren't going to want to trade Bell and all that stuff, because the thing is Bell has till week 10. If Bell doesn't sign his tenure by week 10, he gets transition tagged. He doesn't have the ability to become a free agent, and the Steelers have him for another year. And if he chooses not to play, then that's on him at that point, But so he's going to sign by week 10, because then he just doesn't get paid at all.
Yeah.
Then now not only did he miss out on $8.5 million from the first 10 weeks of football, but he's also going to miss out on getting a payday. So he's going to be there by week 10. I personally think he's going to show up. I think he's going to sign his tenure the Saturday before the week 6 game so that he can take those 2 weeks because they'll have their bye week 7, and get in game shape, and he'll be back for the last 10 games of the season. That's what I personally think. But I think you go out and you find a team that's going to be willing to give Bell the money he wants. The Jets. The Jets have all the money in the world, and the Jets need a playmaker. And Bell's the perfect person for a rookie quarterback.
Oh, big time. Big
So
time.
you go out and you find a team that's going to be willing to give Bell all the money in the world that he wants, and you just get rid of him. I think the Patriots. I think the Steelers have the ability to make any running back that lines up next to Ben good.
Me and Kyle were talking about this yesterday. I think if James Conner has a good rushing, say 100 yards and a touchdown, Bell's traded before next Sunday.
Be nice.
I don't think they're going to trade Bell.
Is that because Bleacher Report said it this morning?
No, it's because I honestly don't believe that they want to trade Bell.
But they're not going to work out a contract. You think they're still going to try to work out a contract for him?
No, I don't. I think after this year he's gone, but I don't think they're going to trade him.
Well, I think there's still a mutual interest of both parties. It's just the numbers aren't there.
I don't think there is a mutual interest anymore.
I don't think there is
The mutual
anymore.
interest is gone.
If he,
It's not. It's just like
but players and management, it's different.
But
The
it's
players
not,
have made
but
it
it's
clear.
not players in management, though. It's agents in management. That's what it is. And it's the same, but it's different. It's the same thing with Khalil Mack. John Gruden came in, and John Gruden made it clear that we're not giving all this money to Khalil Mack. It was very made clear. So Khalil Mack either plays this season with us and becomes a free agent, or Khalil Mack gets traded, and that's what happened. And I think at this point, the Steelers offered him a lot of money for an offensive player that's not a quarterback. And, and I agree with, what Kyle's dad was saying, like Khalil Mack and like that. Like, I mean, the Bears had the money to give, and they got, but over $20 million is a lot of money to pay someone that's not a quarterback. They offered him a deal, a great deal, that would make him the highest paid running back in NFL history, and it wasn't enough for him. I don't think the Steelers have any more mutual interest in giving him any more money. The Steelers' mutual interest is in the contract that they gave him. I think they'll give him that contract again. And if he doesn't want to accept it, it's done. But I don't think the Steelers are going to budge, because the Steelers have things to look forward to in the future. The Steelers have Smith-Schuster, who's going to come off a rookie contract, and I think they're going to want to keep him, because having Brown and Smith-Schuster as a 1-2 option is a lot more deadly than having Brown and Bell as a 1-2 option.
Also, they got to worry about signing defensive players because
They need to sign defensive players, and Ben is getting towards the end. They've got Rudolph. That might be the guy for the future, and they need to be willing to be ready to sign him if that is the guy moving forward. Bell, I think that the Steelers are realizing what they had in D'Angelo Williams when he filled in for Bell when he was gone. I think that they see the greatness that they have in James Conner, and if he can especially go out, like Mock said, and prove it in week 1, I don't think there's a mutual interest from the Steelers anymore. I don't think there is
he's
at all.
Go out there today
and the thing is even
that he's worth keeping.
The Steelers are an old school team, much like the Chicago Bears. The Steelers don't go out and make huge splashes in free agency. The Steelers like to work with what they've got from the draft and build them up and make them franchise players. And I don't think the Steelers are going to go out and especially give a guy that has been holding out on them and is now going to miss an actual regular season game because he is going to be a little bitch and not sign his contract because whatever reason. I don't think they're going to go out and sign him, especially given the fact that now his own teammates are not liking him.
Yeah.
You've got 3 members of your offensive line that are pissed off at him. Antonio Brown said he's with Bell, but in a very passive-aggressive way. And Ben has been on report for NFL Radio saying things about, like, next man up. If you don't want to show up, we're going to make it work with what we got. The team is ready to move on without Bell, and they're going to do it with or without him regardless. And I don't think there's a mutual interest from the Steelers anymore. I think Bell wants to stay because his family's a Steelers fan, and I think he will stay if he's given $18 million a year.
I'd like to use the term that Kyle used, prima donna. He ranted about Odell, and now Bell's worse. Like when we were talking yesterday, Bell's a great running back on the field, but how much of it is the Steelers' running unit? We've seen other running backs run well.
I think Bell's still a top 5 running back, regardless of where he is. But I agree with you. I think James Conner can be. He's not going to be a top 5 running back, but I think he'd be very serviceable.
I think he's going to be good.
800 to 900 yards, maybe 300 or 400 yards out of the passing game, and 12 total touchdowns on the season. And when you have Brown and Schuster and Ben throwing the football and being able to evade sacks like he does, that's all you need as a running back. They need to take the money that they're going to give Bell and put it in the defense.
He's got the trust from everybody, James Conner.
Yeah.
People trust him. People know what he can do.
I don't think there's a mutual interest on the Steelers side anymore.
I really don't.
And then when I say Steelers, I don't mean front office. I mean Steelers. I mean Steelers Nation. Fans, team.
The point I was making was that the front office would want Bell. The players have already kind of written him off. The fans have written him off. The front office, if they could make a deal today, they would. That's what the interest is.
The interest is in the deal they offered him. That's it. And the deal he offered him is not good enough.
If they had the money, of course they would give him the money.
I don't think they would.
I think they would.
I don't think they would.
But it's the way everything is.
Because the front
people
office
got to be paid. If the money was there, they would make the deal. But the money isn't there.
But would you
we
be
kill
okay?
so much time on this.
Would you be okay with not being able to? So Ben's going to go to. Ben's probably going to get an extension. Ben's probably going to get an extension at some point. Assuming Ben wants to stay. If Ben wants to stay, he's getting an extension.
Yeah.
Okay. Right? Fair to say?
Yeah.
If Ben wants to play football, he's getting an extension. They're not going to walk away from Ben. Okay. So Ben's going to get an extension if he chooses to play. They're going to do everything they can to keep Brown. Brown's a once in a lifetime talent, and they're going to keep Brown. Okay. So now you're going to add Bell into the mix. If they had more money to give Bell, they'd give Bell. So now you're looking. So Smith-Schuster's gone. Smith-Schuster is a generation player that wants the money. That's what this. I mean, you look at Smith-Schuster, you look at him, you look at his off the field antics. I'm not saying like in terms of getting himself in trouble, but he's a very pop cultured guy. That's what this generation is. This generation wants to get paid. Smith-Schuster's going to know what his value is. His agent's going to tell him you're worth X, Y, and Z. The Steelers are only going to have X to give him because they've given Bell, Brown, and Ben all this money. So now he knows he can go get that money from another player and from another team. And much like the NFL, you never really know what you're going to get very easily. You look at the Atlanta Falcons. The Atlanta Falcons are a big question mark this year, and a lot of people coming into the season thought they were going to be Super Bowl candidates once again. And we're not sure if that's a thing. Analyst-wise, though, professional analysts, Super Bowl candidates in the Atlanta Falcons, and we're not sure. There's question marks. Sure, it's week one, but this red zone efficiency has been an issue since last season.
When they were in the Super Bowl.
They've had a whole offseason to work off the red zone efficiency, and they still haven't gotten it figured out. So that's a question mark. Smith-Schuster could be that type of guy who makes a difference in any team. Now you're looking at someone, you give Bell all this money, you give Bell $20 million a year as a running back, you're already giving Brown all this money, who's probably going to warrant an even bigger contract when that time comes. And Ben's going to demand a contract, and you're looking at players like T.J. Watt. T.J. Watt is shaping up to be a great defensive player for you guys. He's going to demand the money, and he should get paid the money by the Steelers. You don't sign Bell, you get guys like T.J. Watt. You get these rookie cornerbacks that you guys are drafting and linebackers and stuff like that. I think the mutual interest for the Steelers is the contract that they offered, and if Bell doesn't want to sign it, it's done. I think the Steelers could be given another $10 million in salary cap space, and they're not going to budge on the contract they gave him.
Yeah.
There is one thing I'm going to say quickly, though, is that the Steelers are known, if you work with them, they'll pay you. Just
right.
Like when they had the whole thing with Brown and Wallace, they said Wallace wanted a lot of money, and Brown took less money, and they were like, bye, Mike.
Yep.
That's right. Brown's that player that he'll restructure, he'll take less salary. Yeah. He's that guy.
Well, he's not a greedy. He's not a greedy person.
And just like they just paid Chris Boswell. You know
right.
what? He's a kicker, but you do your job, you keep quiet, you do what you have to do. They're going to give you the money.
And these guys that they're giving the money to are the guys that are there every single week and show up healthy.
Exactly.
And don't do shit off the field that are going to get them in trouble. I'm not saying that suspensions and the weed shit and then getting injured are playing into the fact that why they're not going to give him more money. But here's the thing. Gurley got his money, and Bell was still offered money to be the highest paid running back in NFL. And that wasn't enough.
Yeah.
Bye. Goodbye.
Honestly, I
Goodbye.
All right, scores?
I think the Steelers win today, 31-17.
17-14 Browns.
Wow. 34-14 Steelers. Ben's player of the game, 2 touchdowns, 290.
35-27 Steelers. Player of the game.
Brown.
Nah, player of the game would be Jesse James.
I was going to say that.
I think Jesse James.
Mine was Ben.
I was hoping you were going to do the noise.
Oh, no.
I think Jesse James has like 6 receptions for 42 yards and 2 touchdowns.
That's fine. Vince McDonald's a bitch. All right, so next game.
Are we still in the 1 o'clock games?
No, we just got to the 4 now.
Nice.
Let's try and go fast.
No, we got time. We got a half hour.
Chiefs Chargers.
Yikes.
Where is that game?
Fuck this game. Fuck this game. Fuck John Gruden.
What?
Let it be known now. Fuck Gruden.
We're not at that game.
No, but fuck him. He's the reason that I'm saying that. The Chargers have had the second game in the doubleheader of Monday Night Football as long as I can remember. But because John Gruden's back and he was Mr. Monday Night Football, they gave the Oakland Raiders against the fucking Rams the goddamn second game of the doubleheader. The Chargers have been the doubleheader game, and honestly, in my opinion, Chargers-Chiefs is way more exciting than fucking Raiders-Rams.
What's to say? The last few years, it's always been Giants-Cowboys, Sunday night primetime, week 1.
You guys got that week 2.
Yep.
That game, I think the Chargers are going to blow the Chiefs out of the fucking water today.
That game is I think that game's either a blowout for the Chargers. The Chargers either blow out the Chiefs, or it's the most exciting game of the first game.
I think it's going to be the most exciting. They always play each other very tough. I mean, they're division rivals. They always play each other hard.
+2 when's the last time the Chargers beat the Chiefs?
It's been some time.
And I just don't believe in Pat Mahomes.
No, I understand it, but I'm just saying. But it has potential to be.
Yeah, but just today, I don't know. I think a lot of nerves are going to hit him.
Especially, too, because home games for Chargers
And
right
the
now
Chiefs
are not really
secondary
home games.
It's not as good.
It's not. But again, those division games are tough because every division matchup, they play each other differently than they play someone out of their division. The Chiefs always seem to have the Chargers number, but I think the Chargers are going to squeak out like a field goal victory. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I think Mahomes is going to turn heads today. And look dynamic. He's probably going to throw a couple picks, but I think he's going to go out and show that he can throw.
Oh, he can throw. We all know that.
But I think we're going to see him and Tyreek really jumpstart. But I do think the Chargers win
Kelce
today.
falters because of Mahomes. Not a lot, but
Yeah,
his
well, I mean,
production.
like we said, this division itself plays each other very well. I think it'll be close, and I tend to agree. I think it's going to be probably one of the better games we see today. I don't know if there's going to be a standout guy for Mahomes. I don't even know what to say about him yet. I haven't seen any preseason.
In my opinion, I think Mike Williams has a huge day.
Yeah?
He's back healthy. He's their number 2. All the attention is going to go to Keenan Allen. He's going to be 1-on-1 against a weaker cover corner. I think he's going to expose him. I have such high hope for that kid this year. You know, he was drafted with the 7th pick 2 years ago. I think he's finally going to show it.
What was his injury? Was it ACL?
No, it was a neck injury.
Okay.
So this thing real quick. You guys have seen those come over, I'm home alone memes, right? So it's come over, I can't, NFL season starts today, no one's home and I'm super horny. Bitch, do you know how many games there are today? Do you even realize how long I've been waiting for this? Go cheat, I don't give a fuck.
I don't know. Mahomes, I think Kelce is going to benefit with Mahomes.
You think so?
Yeah, because it's the same thing. I mean, I know he's not a rookie, but he's still a young quarterback. He's going to be learning. And Kelce is that ultimate security blanket. I mean, he can run the short route well. He can get downfield. It's just, I think Mahomes is going to lean on him probably more than Tyreek.
I think it's the opposite because I was watching the preseason game. I know it's just preseason.
Yeah.
But no matter where Tyreek was, that's where the ball went. Even it was 3rd and 1. Tyreek ran a 2-yard out route every time he hit him. He never I didn't really see him look towards Kelce. But it could be they're just on together. They both Sammy Watkins could also have a big year just because of the deep ball and all that. I think the Chiefs are gonna have a lot of big plays this year, and I think it's gonna hurt them in the short game.
That's fair.
Want to do score predictions?
Chargers win 28-7. Mike Williams with 113 yards and a touchdown.
Wow. 24-21 Chargers. Melvin Gordon.
This next game's a real ugly game.
100 yards, 2 TDs.
Wow. I have Chargers 20, Chiefs 17. Comes down to a field goal late. Melvin Gordon, player of the game. 1 touchdown, 105 yards.
No.
Bingo. Kiss him right on the mouth. Paul?
Chargers 24, Chiefs 21. Start of the game, Joey Bosa 3 sacks.
This next game, ugly. Seattle, Denver. That's going to be...
Denver 24, Seattle 12. Star of the game, anybody not wearing a Seattle uniform.
Go ahead.
Oh, God, that's
not a lot of storylines here. Oh, Keenum, but yeah.
Well, it's a Seattle team that's kind of
Lost it all.
Spiraling.
yeah, it's living,
Spiraling.
it's reliving its Super Bowl, Big 12 years, kind of in the past. But that's a division where anything can kind of happen. Denver, I don't know. I like their defense a lot. Offensively, we'll kind of see what happens. I'm going to go with Seattle winning in kind of unimpressive fashion, 16-10. Start of the game.
Russell
Wilson rushing for 40 yards.
I think Denver wins 21-17, but I think Doug Baldwin has a good day. I think he's going to be Russell Wilson's escape pod for when he's running for his life.
That's what it's been all last year, too.
Yep. So I think Baldwin has a touchdown and 100-plus yards.
I think Seattle win 13-10.
Gross.
The player of the game, nobody. Just gonna be a gross game.
The TV crew is the player.
like literally, it's just gonna be like one of those games where it's just like, wish something else was on.
Well, we don't know. I mean, because the Broncos' offense can be fun to watch. Like we talked about it last week with Cortland Sutton. If he can get something going, we can see 3 good receivers in Denver.
I like that.
They can be interesting.
It's just gonna be a. I think it.
Didn't mean that.
Don't know the weather and everything.
No, yeah, it's probably gonna be a dud, but it doesn't have to be. Next.
I didn't
Cowboys,
get a prediction.
Panthers.
Whoa, we gotta get Riddler.
I thought you did do one.
That was right off the bat. That was like a stupid. Jesus fuck.
I thought you went. Sorry, go.
I could believe it did a 12, whatever you said.
I don't
your
think you
prediction?
said that.
31-17 Broncos. Case Keenum, 397 yards, 4 touchdowns.
All to Demaryius Thomas.
Nope.
Nico.
None to Demaryius Thomas. None to Demaryius Thomas.
He gets hurt.
You
No.
just get like
I think
300
Demaryius
yards.
Thomas gets 120 yards or something like that. But I think he distributes the ball pretty evenly. I think maybe one to a running back, maybe one to a running back, one to Sutton, one to Sanders, tight end.
Who the hell is their tight end?
Ooh, is it still Virgil Green?
No, he's a Charger.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Owen
he's-
Daniels.
Oh, it came back.
I
Everybody's
have no
suburban
idea
uncle.
who it is. Cowboys Panthers.
Gross.
Battle of the running backs.
Battle of the gross.
So, I was waiting for you to bring this one up because Pete gave a prediction for the Cowboys game. He said 21-3 Cowboys.
No.
Pete, I'm sorry. I know you're saying the rent is due, but I disagree wholeheartedly.
I think Carolina blows them out today.
Here's the thing. I don't disagree with the Cowboys winning this game. I honestly really don't. I can see the Cowboys winning this game, but I don't see them holding Carolina to 3 points.
My thing, Dallas is such an odd team to me. I mean, they have Zeke, who's going to be a top 3 back this year. There's no denying the guy's talent. But I think they are going to abuse him all year because there's really nothing else. I mean, Cole Beasley is subpar. I thought Tavon Austin would emerge there, but he's so far buried on their depth chart that he's probably not even going to get a look today. Witten's gone. It's just, to me, their defense is below average. I don't see the Cowboys
I think the
doing
defense is
anything.
average. I think it's an average defense.
I say below because the front 7, but the secondary's bad.
But I think
That-
I think they'll finish average for the season. I do. I think because one of those things is it's like with the
So between like 15 to 20 ranked? Is that what you mean?
no, I think they'll finish between like 12 to 17 ranked.
Okay.
And I say that because look at like a team like Cincinnati for the past however many years. The front 7's been phenomenal with the defense. Can you really name me? I mean, other than the Steelers fans, obviously, but really, if you weren't Steelers fans, could you name me more than one corner that's played in Cincinnati for the past decade?
Damn, I was hoping he wasn't going to say more than one. I had one.
Yeah, Pac-Man.
A lot.
But
But,
could you name like an impactful one, a really serious impactful one?
Kind of.
Who?
Well,
Jake Kirkpatrick.
I don't think
So,
it's been that impactful.
it was.
You know what? He tried to bait me into saying the doctor joke again.
Did not. But yeah.
Anyway, but the point being is if you can get to the quarterback and you can make him make ill-advised throws or make him check the ball down and stuff like that, and that goes a long way. It's like what Kyle argued about with the Colts defense. Great, top 10 against the run, last against the past. That
I think McCaffrey has a big day today.
For the Cowboys, and it's not. I'm trying not to be biased, but I think Zeke has a big season. But I think the Cowboys finish last in the division.
oh damn it, that was my bold prediction. Fuck, I forgot about that.
I think Zeke goes out and has at least 1,500 yards this year,
Can I change my bold prediction?
and it does nothing for
I
them
had that written down. I
record-wise.
tried to do it without my notes, and I fucking forgot it. I changed my bold prediction. I don't remember what it was for the Cowboys. Top 5 in sacks or something like that, right? Fuck that. Throw that out of the window. Ezekiel Elliott breaks the rushing yards total this year. Ezekiel Elliott rushes 2,200 yards this year.
It's possible he's going to get 750 carries. So,
final score of the game is Carolina 28, Cowboys 27. Star of the game is Ezekiel Elliott, though. 187 rushing yards, 3 touchdowns. 4 receptions, 22 yards.
Carolina 31, Dallas 17. Chris McCaffrey has 180 all-purpose yards with 3 touchdowns.
21-14 Panthers.
Star of the game, this dick.
Cam Newton. I think he's going to rush for 2.
100?
2 touchdowns.
Oh.
200 yards would be unbelievable.
Yeah, throw up.
I have Panthers 34, Cowboys 23. I have
Say 33 or 23?
23.
Okay.
I have
6.
Dak blowing it late, pick 6.
Ooh.
Yeah, I got a feeling for
2
some
Christian
reason.
McCaffrey.
That'd be interesting because that's uncharacteristic. Dak takes pretty good care of the ball.
Yeah, I feel that the Panthers step up today. Star of the game. I also had Cam for throwing reasons. 2 touchdowns. 329.
This next game I'm very excited about.
Well, what is it?
Redskins Cardinals.
I'm very excited. Oh, what? Because you want to see Peterson, Kyle?
Yeah, I do. All right? You got 2 legends going at each other today.
That's right. Sam Bradford and Jamison Crowder.
Pete goes, Elliott has no pending charges this year. He's clear.
2 legends going at each other. Peterson versus Fitzgerald.
They're going to match up a lot.
I know. I hate that they do that in football.
Yeah, it's like Brady Manning.
Yeah, I hate that. But I see what you're saying. I just hate that they do that.
Yeah, it'd be a lot different if it was like, Kuechly versus Peterson.
Yeah.
2 quarterbacks that are exactly the same quarterback.
That's not true.
Not true.
Kind of.
No,
They kind of
it's not
throw
true.
short passes.
Sam Bradford only throws short passes because it's usually all he can get off by the fourth quarter when he's gone for the year.
Yeah, before his knee.
Sam
falls
Bradford
apart.
actually has a pretty deep cannon and takes deep shots when he's healthy. He did it with the Vikings. He did it with the Rams. He just can't stay healthy. Not the same quarterback. They're not.
Well,
They're not the same quarterback.
12 catches for like 75 yards today. But
That's fine with me. It's a lot of points. Take that all fucking day. That's double digits. Almost.
No, it is. 12 catches.
No, 75 yards though. 19.5.
Said double digits.
Yeah.
Anywho,
That's why I was like, wait a minute.
I was thinking 20.
I think
Give me the stock.
Adrian Peterson's going to go out today and kill the Cardinals.
listen, I hope. I like Adrian Peterson.
Round the horn.
But, I mean, I'm hoping to be pleasantly surprised. Just because
Round the horn. We said it around the horn.
he's an aging guy. I mean, he's an amazing talent.
Running backs in Washington are going to have a big day. Him and Thompson.
Kyle, for your sake, I hope so. I
think-
like this squad.
This is going to be Adrian Peterson's final year, and he's going out with nothing. I don't think he's going to do anything for this team.
0 attempts for 5 yards.
Really, like, I see maybe he'll get, I don't know, 500 yards this year.
No,
Maybe.
way.
What do you mean, no way, though? The
He's
guy,
their number one.
Kyle, but he's their number one for week 1.
He's going to
He's
get 23.
33 years old.
I'm sorry, the other two guys are not going to surpass
He's
him. Unless he gets
33
hurt.
years old.
Unless he
He's
gets
33 years old.
Riddler, did you want to add something to this argument, or do you want to do score predictions?
Yeah, Cardinals 21, Redskins 18.
All right, I'll go.
Star of the game is Larry Fitzgerald. Larry Fitzgerald has not 12 catches. I think Larry Fitzgerald puts together 7 catches for 82 yards and touchdown.
Washington 21, Arizona 17. Star of the game, Alex Smith takes care of the ball. Keep this in mind. Ready? He's going to go 26 for 32, 210 yards, touchdown.
All the Jordan
I think
Reed.
both quarterbacks combined for less than 10 incompletions.
That's going to be a quick game. It's
My prediction.
What?
going to be a quick game.
Why would it be a quick game?
But the clock's going to keep rolling.
Cardinals win 17-14. Play of the game is Sam Bradford because he doesn't blow out both knees.
Redskins 24, Cardinals 20. Player of the game is Adrian Peterson.
675 rushing yards, 14 touchdowns on 2 attempts.
Has 100 yards with 2 touchdowns.
You know what's going to irritate me? Peterson's going to do that, and Kyle's going to get all hard-dicked about it.
All right, Paul, you ready?
Nope.
Bears Packers. Defense versus offense.
Nope. Just Packers versus...
Bears are going to be good this year, Paul. I know you don't
Paul,
want to get excited
You want
for
me to start,
it.
Paul? Or
Nothing to do
you
with
want to
being
take the
excited.
reins?
They're just not going to be that good this year. They might muster...
The Monday night games are going to go quick. So.
You want to start? You want to start?
Go ahead.
Well, I want to give you the...
I said go ahead.
Okay. Something to be considered. I think the Packers do not explode like they did in years past. I still expect a big year from, Aaron Rodgers and whatnot, but it's not going to be the sensationalist that we've seen. I think the Packers go on to win tonight, but I think it's a lot closer than we expect. I think the defense plays to the hype. I think Trubisky holds onto the ball. I think Howard runs well. I think it's very close. I'll give my score prediction now. Packers 30, Bears 22, Rodgers 2 touchdowns, 327 yards.
30-22.
NFL this era, weird scores. We've seen it for the past 4 years. Weird scores.
Yeah, final prediction 3-2. This is just a weird... I don't like that. Go away.
For this
22.
game,
Turn off your mic.
for this
22.
game, I think the Bears win. They're going to win 21-14. And I had a bold prediction I wanted to say before, but we had to move along. Packers missed the playoffs.
I like that.
I don't think Aaron Rodgers makes it through the whole
It's not a
season.
bold prediction. It's just a hard penis erection.
I think the Packers missed the playoffs.
Good. I would like that.
21-14 Bears.
I mean, I like our defense, but I'm going to...
I don't know.
Can I say a tie?
That'd
Yes.
be horrible. Week
Yes, you
1
can.
tie.
I think the Packers
Be
do
fine
win.
with me.
I think
It's
the
not a
Packers-
loss.
I think the Packers win 17-14.
What?
Yeah.
What planet are you guys living on? The Packers are not going to score 20 points against us.
I don't know. I don't like the weapons in Green Bay. All he has is Adams and Graham.
And Cobb.
Cobb hasn't been anything in the last few years.
Doesn't matter. Rodgers still throws the ball to Cobb.
I just don't see.
Marvin Harrison was not that great with Peyton Manning in the Super Bowl championship team, but he was still Marvin Harris to Peyton Manning to Marvin Harris. It still works.
I don't know. I just
Marvin Harris? Marvin Harris?
Marvin Harrison.
Marvin Harrison.
I like Marvin.
Marvin.
My man, Marvin Harrison.
I don't know. I feel like this is gonna be a low scoring game.
All right, moving on to that
It's
game.
going to be Trubisky hitting the Hail Mary right at the end.
To Allen Robinson for
I would
100 yards.
literally cream the world.
Paul, your prediction.
There would literally be a flood warning in whatever town I was in that.
We need your score prediction.
I don't want to do that.
Come on. I did it for the Giants.
Yeah,
You
but
did it for the
just
Steelers. Come
an
on.
easy win.
Listen,
Come on.
you predicted the tie. What's the tie?
No, it's not a tie.
17-13.
What do you think is going to happen? That's not a tie.
I know.
A winning tie.
28-24 Chicago. Start of the game, Taylor Gabriel, 89 receiving yards, 2 touchdowns. I think that
Is Kev White playing tonight?
Yep. I
Nice.
think
For now.
Yeah, he'll get the first snap down. I just think that the Packers, like most teams this year, until Trubisky can prove what he's going to do, they're going to stack the box against Howard and Cohen. Trubisky's just going to give quick dump offs to speedy receiver and Gabriel's going to be able to turn him upfield and get some decent gains out of him. I think Gabriel's the guy to watch this game.
All right. Then we got the Jets Lions.
Who cares?
Lions win 2010.
Lions win 45-0. I don't know. Fucking Jets are terrible. I'd say the Jets would win, but they don't have Safarian Jenkins anymore. So, now Lions win 24-10. Star of the game, LeGarrette Blount, 80 yards rushing, 3 touchdowns. I don't even think that's possible.
I think this is going to be the biggest blowout of week 1. I have Lions winning 41-17. It's been quarterbacks basically for all my top stars. I think Stafford continues. We have 4 touchdowns from him.
Jerseys.
Can I change my prediction real quick? We got time? Can I change my prediction? Lions win this game 28-17. Start of the game's LeGarrette Blount. LeGarrette Blount has 82 rushing yards and 48 receiving yards for 3 total touchdowns.
How many receptions, though?
9.
Oh, my God.
No, I'm just kidding.
That'd be amazing. I'd root for him.
Nah, I'd say 3. 3 receptions. I think he gets 1 good reception that he's able to get up the field for 20, 25 yards for.
Lions win 21-0.
You don't think Sam Darnold gets anything?
I don't think he gets anything.
He's going to fucking let him up.
Player of the game, Golden Tate.
Yeah.
$130 and a touchdown.
In the first quarter.
So Marvin Jones, 2 catches, 113 yards.
Yeah, that's his MO.
And then we got Rams Raiders.
Worst defense going up against possibly the best defense. Promising young offense going up against who knows on offense. Let's see. I think the Rams pull this one out 31-24, and I think the star of the game for the winning team is I don't know. I think it's Ndamukong Suh, to be honest with you. I think they spent a lot of time trying to block Donald. I think Ndamukong Suh gets 2 sacks, but I think the real star of the game goes to I think it goes to Jordy Nelson. I think Jordy Nelson gets like 90 yards and 2 touchdowns. I think a lot of people are really sleeping on him not being that good this year. I think he's worth a gamble in fantasy.
I think the Rams are going to win 28-9.
Gross.
It is.
Touchdown and 2-point conversion and 3 field goals.
3 field goals.
Yuck. That's 2018 football for you.
I really do. I don't think the Raiders are going to do much offensive, again, especially against the Rams. I think the Rams defense is going to be outrageous. And the player of the game is going to be Cooper Kupp.
Cordell Patterson.
He's
He's
a Patriot.
a Patriot.
Yeah, no.
I was going to say, wait. It's going to be Cooper Kupp.
Who?
Cooper Kupp.
There you
Cooper Kupp. Just for being
Mark,
proud,
I like
what
that.
his stat line is.
Also, my player of the game. So I have Rams winning 27-17, and my player of the game is say together now. Cooper Kupp. 8 receptions, 121 yards, touchdown.
I'm sorry, you have to say
think that Kendall's a faggot.
I think the Raiders win 35-28.
That would be a shock.
Yeah.
But is that because you love John Gruden?
No, it's because I think the Rams are going to get it.
Now, do you think if the Raiders win, John Gruden will go do a post-game interview saying that he's the Gruden grinder for the game?
You should.
I think that the Rams are going to get a reality check and realize that all these head cases aren't going to work on defense.
Well, there's the first week predictions and pick'ems. What?
Amari Cooper is going to go off.
No, he's not. First week predictions.
No one's going off against their secondary.
That's our pick'ems. We're not going to do this every week because it takes too long. We got a lot of other sports stuff to talk about as the NHL and NBA seasons come through soon.
Lightning fast beer review.
No, not lightning fast.
What time is it?
It's 12:54.
Oh, okay, I can't see the clock.
Other fun news, not football news though. Luke Walton made an announcement though, because the NBA is getting ready to start kicking off their training camps and all that type of stuff. First thing that's going to happen when the Lakers step on the court as a team together, they're doing a full game scrimmage, veterans versus young guys. I'd watch that. That should be on ESPN.
So
you got Beasley, LeBron, Stevenson, McGee, and Rondo versus Ball, Ingram, Kuzma. I'd watch that. That would be a good, fun, full game to watch. A lot of real weird shit gonna happen. Anything to see a JaVale McGee pass alley-oop to LeBron.
you're going to hear LeVar, the lone person in the stands.
With the ostrich from Family Guy. But, yeah, we got a lot of stuff to cover. This is not going to be an every week thing. We're going to do our normal pick'ems. Mark Sheen's going to be on the hot seat for printing out the pick'em sheets. But this is our pick'ems for the week. Unfortunately, J Mart's not here to pick them.
I got him.
So, you got his picks?
Mhm.
He picked them?
Yep.
All right, good. So they're on record. Because I was gonna say we're gonna have to let Rebecca pick them for him. Yeah, Giants beat the Raiders. That didn't happen, but she'll pick it.
It's a write-in.
But yeah. Beer reviews. Well, before the beer reviews, if you're watching on Facebook Live, if you watch this later, you'll see we're all getting sports with drunk.
Souls, go stand in the back. Give us a
Give us
walk
a
through.
twirl.
Yeah, the guy with no ass.
Oh, I forgot about the headphones.
I almost said that, but
everything's
I don't want to be a
broken.
jerk.
But we're sporting our GSWD.
Stay right there, Kyle, right there.
Shirts.
Pete, is that AM or PM?
What?
Pete.
Oh.
Spin around, Souls.
These are our GSWD shirts.
There it is.
And yes, he wore it yesterday.
Yeah. And real quick, Tristan Haller, if you listen, these are cool shirts, so you missed out, you SOB.
All right, so Kendall really is
Sob.
making a point to make this his own show now. So
This
welcome
guy-
to Getting Read with Kendall.
This guy refused to buy a shirt.
Um,
Refused.
so we got the shirts in. We're gonna do another shirt order in the near future. You guys like the shirts? Make sure you stay on the lookout on our social media. The show. We'll advertise it when that time comes. But they're comfortable shirts. They're flexible. They're good for chubby guys like myself. They form to the belly well. They're good shirts. Beer reviews. Souls.
It was a Miller 64.
All right.
Hoegaarden was pretty good. I mean, I like Belgians. It was a nice
Blue Moon.
drinking beer.
Shock top.
Way better than those. Those are American Belgians, and they're terrible. Kyle, they're not good.
I had the 2017 Goose Island
Really loves
Bourbon
emphasizing
County.
that year.
Well, because it's specific. Every year, it's different. I don't know what we let it sit for however long.
Well,
a
this is
year.
2018.
Yes, I know, but I don't.
How long did we let it sit?
Well,
Probably 5.
November, I think
Yeah.
November comes out, but I don't know. The percentage is very good, delicious. Thank you, Riddler.
Right on the bottle. Right next to the 2017. It says the percentage.
But doesn't it age longer?
It says the percentage on it.
Well, I don't know where that is.
To the right of the 2017.
To the
It's
right.
on that orange sticker.
I have Imperial. Oh wow, 23.99%. There's a dollar sign on there too. Well, I don't have that.
I had the Goose Island, Bourbon County, the Northwoods Blueberry Marzipan Stout. Very good. Not sweet at all. It's usually a big concern for people when you see blueberry and stuff like that in beers. But the marzipan really comes through. Very tasty. Nice flavor.
Be sure check out Peter Street Pete, 8:20 tomorrow morning. Chaz and AJ show. Pete will be on there. Check him out.
Got some courtroom audio, I believe.
Yeah. Every Tuesday and Wednesday night here on PPRN from 7:30 to 10:30 is the Peter Pino show. Always got musical guests in here playing,
Good
talking.
content.
Yeah, good stuff. Be sure to always listen to PPRN. A lot of good stuff happening. Be sure to find us on Facebook and Instagram at Getting Sports with Drunk. Twitter is GSWD_4.
Make sure to use the hashtag GSWD for all your daily uses, whether it's arguing about Andrew Luck or sporting a Getting Sports with Drunk shirt.
Subscribe on Podbean, iTunes, Google Play, and iHeartRadio.
Anywhere you find podcasts or internet
Anywhere.
radio shows, that's where we are.
And we're here every Sunday live from 10 to 1 p.m. on the PPRN radio network.
And football is back.
Yeah, so we got to go. Like, it's on now.
Yeah.
It's not on now.
Bye.
But yeah, if you watch the shows after, we know we get a lot of viewers on the video, Facebook Live videos after the fact that we're live. Let us know what you guys thought about our predictions. I mean, I know that by some of the times you guys watch this, the games will already be over. But let us know what you think. Give us some bold predictions of what you guys think for your team for the NFL season. We'd love to hear them. We'd love to talk about them. Tell you're stupid on the air.
We'd love to hear some new, fresh nicknames for Kyle. If
Yeah,
you come up with
we're
anything
getting
good.
stale on those. Maybe some misspelled ones. But yeah, until next week, I'm your hostess, Cupcake the Riddler.
I'm Mark.
Sheen Washable.
Nah.
I'm Milwaukee.
And I'm the Red Baron.
No.
Yeah.